All right. All right, I want to make sure people could hear me. Baron Brendan Studios for $2. Goated. It is. It is. I like Bullets a lot. It's a very good song. Xander Dawson, $5. FaZe really had to release a marketable Tenma plushie right when I'm trying to save up cash. Damn you, Fishman. Yeah. Yeah. So some of you might have noticed the little bit of text that's on screen here. Yeah, I opened up a Twitch. It's twitch.tv/Tallywhacker Supreme. I opened it up there because, it's good to have alternatives, alternative places to stream just in case. It is not going to be a primary. I'm thinking like every other solo stream. So I'll do one here, I'll do one over there, stuff like that. But yeah, it's a good place. And I have been wanting to get this specific series of streams started because I really, really like Final Fantasy. Some of you guys might have even been awake for when I streamed it at like 3 in the morning and actually went through character creation and all that. I forgot to set the setting on Twitch to save the VOD. So that one's lost. So this is the new part 1. This is the new part 1. No show today? No. This is a solo thing for now because it's something I've been really wanting to do. And a lot of people are saying, like, oh, you can also do Odyssey, you can do Rumble. A lot of people are asking about Kick, and I'll look into those too. Like I said, I'm kind of like shopping around, seeing what I can do and get away with, because some of you might have been awake. I don't think I've slept one full night in the past 2 weeks. Yeah. Part 1.1. There you go. What's your Twitter? It is at BundyScoreChew. Here, let me pull it up real quick, and I'll post it in the chat for everybody. Doop. There we go. This is the Twitter. Okay. But yeah, I really like Final Fantasy 14. I've been wanting to stream it for a while because I genuinely love the game, and I know a lot of people also really like to play it. So it'd be a fun series to watch a character go from level 1 all the way to late game where you can see how much it changes. Didn't you get banned off Twitter? I got banned a lot. Not getting a new job is making me depressed. Tall, can you clap your booty cheeks for me? No. Perish. Did you see what I sent to you on Discord about Darkwood creator's new game? I did not see that, but that sounds awesome. Darkwood was really good. Nasty Nate for $10. Hey, Lolly, hope you're doing well. Did you see the new Futurama trailer for Hulu? I'm hoping it's just good as the past, but knowing modern remakes, not getting the hopes up. The Comedy Central seasons were really rough, so I don't have much hope. Will Spain, $5. Thoughts on Camelot and Pippa drama? Sounds like he just played a joke and the VTuber community went off. Kind of sad the friendship died like that. Wasn't that the one where he claimed to have a pic of her and it caused a whole bunch of things where everyone thought he doxed her? It's like, yeah. The whole culture with VTubing is already like very bad, where you have like legitimate Perfect Blue level stalker behavior. So I can understand why they're hesitant about that, but at the same time, if it was just a joke, I don't know. It's bad territory. How long do you think the Twitch channel will stay up realistically? I have no idea. Usually, I don't know. Be honest. The new game is a turn-based sports game called Soccer Kids. I played a bit and it's a fun little game. I'm kind of disappointed there's no new horror game. Watch be one of those things where it's like, what is it, like Stay Awake or whatever. Like back when like the indie horror game thing was all over YouTube and it would fuck with files on your computer to scare you. Watch it be like that. Brotherhood of Steel, my FTLR's MGS coming to PC. Your thoughts? Oh, I can already tell the mods are going to be insane. It was a horribly done joke and he directly called FaZe gay in a fake apology. Dude's a cunt. Ooh, yeah, then I can see why that's a problem. Can already see when that's a problem. When you gonna get the new System Shock remake? I got it and I played it. It's really good. It is really fucking good. Even if it was a joke, to take that shit seriously could end your career as a VTuber. Yeah, I mean, unironically, it is a thing where I get that it was just a joke, but at the same time, oof. What's Darkwood like? One of the best horror games to come out in a while. It genuinely gets under your skin, especially if you're scared of stuff like being afraid of the dark or being locked in a dark house. Why are you streaming today? Estee, I wanted to make this a more regular thing because I really like Final Fantasy 14. I love it. So I've always been like, man, I really want to stream that. I can never get Shota to agree on it, so I'm like, you know what? I'll do it myself, and it'll be a lot of fun. Creeper over $2. Twitch fails, it's always kick. Yeah, that's kind of the thing. I'm keeping my eyes out on a whole bunch of places. Because you never know, like, what's going to be the gimmick one and what's going to be the one that people actually, like, stick with. Because no point putting a bunch of time and effort into, like, kick only for it to vanish in a weekend, and next thing you know, you just gave a failed website your personal information. It's like, yeah. I still have to complete System Shock 2. System Shock 2 is really good. Final Fantasy 14, epic, cool, massively multiplayer online role-playing RPG. Yeah. I like 14, but Realm Reborn is very tough to get through. Everything past that is so fun and beautiful, honestly. It just depends on what job you pick. If you pick the right job, that carries you through most of the story. And I like a lot of the characters. It's just the fact of, yeah, Realm Reborn's just tutorial and setting you up to all the factions. We do another 16 stream? I don't know. That's up to Shota. We don't really do repeat games. He's turning into Asmongold. How dare you? Finally here for a stream. Hype because you always weekend stream 10 minutes before I start working and just get home. Yeah. Never seen 14 actually. 14's genuinely great. Yeah, 14's really good. They've updated a lot of Realm Reborn dungeons too. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. The dungeons themselves are a lot of fun. It's mainly just the story's kind of there. Endgame of Realm Reborn is fun. When you actually fight the Empire, I always thought that was cool. Hell, man, took a day off and got bored. I'm trying to make it more regular. And I do plan on getting the new video out at the very latest by Friday. It's not going to be very long, and my mom really wants to go to a Dwight Yoakam concert. So it's like, hey, do you want to go with me? It's like, fuck it, why not? Give me a goal for the end of the week, you know? It's my favorite VTuber with a shitty schedule and all. Oh. Are you going to do a 6 days in Fallujah stream? Some of my buddies have picked it up, so I'll see. Right now I'm dealing with, like, weird graphical issues with it, though. I don't know if it's... I think it just doesn't like my graphics card. I have, like, a 1650, and it seems like that's a lower end card for it. What's the new video about? It's going to be about the new Berserk chapter. The one that came out last month. Yay. Alright. So, I'm going to swap on over real quick. Don't be afraid if it goes black. Yeah. So... Oh, okay, he immediately jumped up. Okay, that's good. So, for those that were here for the last one, we started Final Fantasy 14. We started it, got through character creation, picked our class, starter class, and went into Udal. We got about, like, 2 hours, if that, into the game. So that's why, once again, I'm like, I'm okay with... I'm okay with starting, you know, the YouTube one, because a lot of it would be saved on YouTube, as, like, part 1 here, because it's, like, you know, so it's fine. Later on, obviously, it'll become more of an issue. That's where, thankfully, I remember to set the, like, oh, yeah, download the, not download, save the VOD on Twitch, and then I can download it from there. God damn it. You know, yeah, I fixed it. Started my new job this Friday. It's a Chuck E. Cheese kind of joint. Kind of nervous. Oh boy. If the animatronics smell, get the fuck out of there. Alright. So. This is game fun, but I wonder if I should pick it up. It is the only MMO I've ever actually stuck with, which says a lot. No Shota? No, this is going to be a solo thing. So, this is my actual character. The one that I, like, play personally. She is a level 74 Dark Knight, because I love Berserk. And Dark Knight is all about Berserk. It's fucking awesome. God, this music's gorgeous. Final Fantasy music is amazing. Final Fantasy always has good music. And be warned, whenever I click off the screen, the audio is going to cut out. It's just a thing. Can you put the stream in the new playlist? It's only for my archiving purposes, honestly. I can do that. Because I say this being kind of more of a series, so. Arthur Tomlinson for $5. You remember that song from FF10 that sounds like the opening of Baba O'Reilly? Oh, yeah. I always like that one. That's Dave. Final Fantasy has great music. She's a baddie femme guts. Yeah. It's fucking great. But this is, my personal one. I played a little bit of her just to show people the difference, where start off early game and you see how slow that is compared to late game, where, like, I had to, like, spam the fuck out of AoE skills and shit like that. Is the armor cool in this game? If you like the Nomura armor, where it's, like, really over the top and spiky, you'll like it a lot. Wolf's paying $5. If it wasn't a fake apology, he just didn't know VTuber culture and thought the drama was gay. FaZe looking to excuse attacking for a while now. Still, it's one of those of like, yeah, I can just see the whole thing being a fucking mess. But alright. So, Helicanarsis is the one I actually play on. Marilith is the one that we used for the stream. And she popped up for like half a second, so we gotta wait for her to load back in. And as you can see, I only got like 2 days left of playtime before I gotta renew my subscription. She popped up for like half a second, what the fuck? I don't know if you believe this, my friend just went to a convention as a Final Fantasy XIV Dark Knight. He spent 3 weeks in his cave working on it. That's awesome. Yeah, Dark Knight's actually a really popular subclass because it has like one of the best job stories. And on top of that, it's Berserk. I mean, it's literally the guts class and everyone loves it. Is Final Fantasy XIV only on PC? No, it's on, I think it's on Xbox and it's on PS4. Zen Despot, $5. My dad's farm was able to start cutting hay this weekend, and also a land acquisition my dad, sister, and I are going through. Now the surveyors are done. Oh, that's cool. Rocket, $5, hidden variable in Future Club, just screwed over Skullgirls. Yeah, I saw that, yeah. Which, like, the whole neo-puritanism thing of, hey, let's censor a game that has literally built its identity off of the fan service. You know, shit like that. Like, that's just dumb. And they're also going into, like, the guidebook you can buy as an extra and censoring concept arts. It's like, at some point, someone needs to step up and go, hey, that's fucked up. You are actively getting in the way of shit people have paid for that you are not even involved in the creation of. Like, when you start fucking with tier rewards, like, I know they got rid of the Mike Z announcer where he's, like, the Soviet guy. It's like, I get he had a rocky way of leaving that company, but that's fucked. That is fucked. It's not on Xbox. Really? I thought it was. Of course, I never looked. I just assumed. I like Samurai. It's such an OP DPS class. Yeah, Samurai. We are doing Pugilist, which is Punch, because I've never played DPS. I've only played the tanks. I've only played Gladiator to Paladin to Dark Knight. That's been my path. It's a girl. Yeah, the women in this have been great. The women in 14 are very, very pretty. And we're gonna wait for the queue. I know Zone is defending the censorship going on. Still the same game, saying you can find it online, it's not gone. Yeah, and it's like, as an artist, that should really like scare the shit out of you, because the fucking example I'm using is, what if they hire an artist, allow them to make some art assets, and then years down the line, they when the contract with that artist is up, they boot the artist out, remove their work, and then replace it with AI or something. You know what I mean? Like, it's a legitimate possibility that could happen. And it's something where anyone can scream slippery slope all they want. Slippery slope's fucking real. I will say this now, do not play Monk with a controller. It's not fun, even the simplification's made. I don't play on controller. I play mouse and keyboard, as God intended. Loli is proof all female MMO character players are guys. Subscriptions are more profitable long term, though. Sucks. Yeah. Does Fortnite count as an MMO if I have 800? If I have 800 hours in that game? I don't know. Alright. So, as stated, we literally just got started. We are at, like, level 9. So, and we have the road to 80. Meaning that everything we did doubled up in XP. So, we're still, like, butt-fuck early into the game. And we can go complete a main quest real quick. But yeah. I really, really like 14. As stated, it is the only MMO I've ever actually stuck with. Where's Shota? He ain't here. You're stuck with me, asshole. You are stuck with me. How's the combat work in FF14? It's almost it's like WoW. You know, it's a tab attack where you tab and then do your skills and all that. But it has more to that, where every class has its own system to it, where it gets more complicated the higher you go. Where, like, obviously they'll play completely fucking different. Like, if you play a white mage, you have to do so many macros. Where it's just setups for spells and then setups for other spells. It's nuts. Right now I'm playing the Pugilist, so it's a lot of, like, setting up combos that can then buff you and then do extra damage on top of that. It's a pretty complex little thing, just from the little bit I saw. I was actually kind of surprised. What I love about 14 is that you don't have to pay extra for racer classes, free for each update. That is really cool, yeah. And a part I really like is the fact that, you know, the way they implement it to where if you want to start a completely different class, just see how it is. You don't have to make a whole new character. You can literally just switch to that class. It's the job system. So, yeah, that's pretty fucking cool. As a monk side main who plays on Xbox controller and PC, gotta say it's not that hard. Just map your 1, 2, 3s sequentially and on close face buttons and D-pads. Okay. I'm trying to remember how to do the auto run. There we go. It was R. Okay. I could not remember for the life of me the auto run. I like how the term pugilist is used. I don't know if I find a new word. Yeah, it specs into monk. So, oh, speaking of which, here's a quick example of how the combat works. It's MMO combat. What class is this? This is pugilist. So it's a DPS one where it's all about like hand-to-hand combat. I'm working on until level 90 in all tanks. Warrior just hit 70. That's pretty good. Put on bikini armor. I don't have bikini armor. This is the best spec stuff, and I don't have any glamours. Rock him like heavyweight pugilist David Tuya. Yeah. Sword Art Online flashbacks. It's an actual fucking game, you piece of shit. Okay. So now we can kill a few more horns. Parry now. Bunch of animals to death like a real bunny girl, like Peter wanted. Monk get Dragon Ball moves. Can even claim as a Z fighter. Holy shit. So every class has like some anime archetype they wanted to stick with. I already maxed out my classes except for 1 healer and 2 DPS classes. Okay. And flashbacks that 1 Star Trek MMO. Well, this is how the majority of them play, and early game is the most like basic bitch. Like there's a reason I'm kind of speeding through a lot of it, because yeah. The more it unlocks, the more you kind of understand, okay, so this is how it works, this is how it works. And the peak is when you get into dungeons, because that's where all the crazy shit happens. Oop. And yeah, it's going to be a cutscene one. Story past Realm Reborn's fucking amazing too. Not only the story, the voice acting gets a lot better.
Hallowed spirit of my line, forgive
Isn't Samurai just Virgil? Yes.
My failings
literally, you can outright cosplay him. Kick the Lalafell. Oh, it's gonna make me click. Dub. Realm Reborn dub is not great. After Realm Reborn, when you get into the expansions, it gets really good. So I actually play dub for this.
As you command, O Lilira.
What's your favorite Rayman game? I never really played much Rayman. I may have played stuff like Conquer. When does the fantasy say this is my final 14?
To assure your welfare.
I don't recall requesting an escort. Simply pretend we never met and continue on your way.
We both know I can do no such thing.
The midget merchants.
It isn't safe for you here alone.
They're literally the midget merchants.
It isn't safe for anyone. Not with this etheric disturbance. It's as though the dead are watching us.
Cult personality $2. Gotta love that Skullgirl stuff, lol. Also 16's Kino. 16 is really Kino. I love it.
And I'd prefer not to join them. If it's all the same to you.
Afro Thunder Gaming for $10. Just started Jobless Incarnation. Surprising, grounded, and appreciate how self-aware the MC is compared to other East guys. Overlord and Konosuba up there as well. I keep hearing that Jobless Reincarnation is really good, but I don't know. I'm hearing about it so much, I'm starting to resent it on principle. I can't even blame it, you know. Favorite Mega Man game? I really like Zero.
Ah, you must be the one that Papa Shan mentioned. Congratulations on...
Yeah, sorry, I had a quick wait for a second.
You'll have to forgive her impetuousness. What she lacks in discipline, she makes up for in stubbornness. You should return with us. The station master will be eager to thank Lady Lilira's protector.
What's the next game on Saturday gonna be? We have no idea. We go by the seat of our ass.
Boss, the station master will have to wait.
Holy shit, Thancred's VA has changed over the years. Yeah, as stated, after Realm Reborn, they
Dear
completely
Lily
changed
Rock,
up the voice
for
cast,
my
and it's a
sake,
lot better.
Please stay out of harm's way.
A lot of the voice actors in Heaven's Ward, which is the one directly after Realm Reborn, they show up in 16. Like
As for
Estinian,
you, dear
his
friend,
voice actor.
For Lilira's sake, please stay in harm's way.
Yeah, Estinian's voice actor is the dragoon that tries to kill Clive when he's a teenager. Magus, our control for DLR, law fellas called me a bigger lover. Is it hard to keep up with the chat and play the game if Big Man isn't here? Not particularly, no. It helps that this is a slower paced RPG. Whoa. I don't know who's meant to be DPS and who's meant to be... Whose job is it? What British? Yeah. Hey. Look it up. How long did it take you to get to level 70? Well, that's kind of the thing where you get to like level 30 with your base class, and then that upgrades into the secondary class. So you go from Gladiator to Paladin, and then you can level up from there. And I reached about level 60 there. After that, I wanted to switch over to Dark Knight because that's what I was working towards the whole time. You know, my beloved guts class, and I had to start all the way over from level 1 of Dark Knight all the way to level 74. So basically, if I add both together, I was like level 150 something. Oh god, every time I played Final Fantasy, Black Desert, otherwise I just end up fishing, gathering herbs. Lord Springs Online propane. Gotta get my pipe weed. Yeah, you can do stuff like that too. You can do like mining and crafting. I never really get into that because I'm just like, I'll just raid a dungeon and get some loot. But yeah, you can do that. The game's a little too loud, a little too quiet. I can turn it quick. I'll deal with that in a second. Oh god. Oh god. Okay. So it's dead. Not too loud, it was fine. Give me a second. Damn it. I can tinker with it real quick to make everyone happy. I gotta get out of this segment first. Fist the dragon into submission. Have you seen Stanley Kubrick's The Killings, about a group of 5 crooks who staged a racetrack robbery? It's genuinely fantastic. I need to check that out. I have not seen that. So your character is Pugilist Bunny Girl. Is she based off Miracle from My Hero? No, it's people wanted Bunny. And then from there, I never played DPS, and I thought Pugilist sounded fun. I ever played a Hi-Fi Rush? Think about playing it later, and also Omori because it's going off Game Pass. Hi-Fi Rush is really good. If you like old school, like PlayStation 2 platformer or action games, it's great. Make her Bunny Casca. She is Bunny Casca. Everyone wants Chocolate Bunny. Will you stream it this time regularly? I'll figure it out.
Feel. Think.
They went back and added single player to Realm Reborn Stormblood? Shadows and Walker already had single player mode. Holy shit! I didn't know that. This is my OC, and I think she's hot, and she is my wife. Breed the bunny! So that's one MMO flaw it lacks. Yeah, 14, you can play a lot of the game completely alone. Like, you can get through, like... You can get through, like, almost all of Realm Reborn without having to play with anybody. The only difference is the patch quests, where it forces you to have to team up with some people. Even then, set it to desync. Like, desync and then run the dungeon yourself, and boom, you're good. And if you're high level enough, it's not even that hard.
That shone throughout this realm, yet it hath since grown dim.
He's playing as a newer race effect dialogue from earlier expansions anyway. As far as I'm aware, no. Of course, I only played as Rogged again, so no one mentioned anything to me. No one mentioned anything about race whatsoever.
Presaging an end to life. For the sake of all, I beseech thee.
Cream the bunny.
Deliver us from this fate.
Might actually try and get my hands on this game so I can run a superhero pugilist. Crimson Fister, fisting evildoers in submission. Can do it. I've seen Pugilist Hank Hills, and I'm not even kidding.
And lay claim to them.
Plop 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 plop. Get pregnant. Plop 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 plop. Free trial is the first 2 expansions, so you can play through all of Realm Reborn and a bit through Heaven's Ward solo. That's pretty dope. That's pretty dope. Is the adventure Casca subconscious for she regains sanity? She just imagines herself as a bunny girl.
By thy deeds,
Propine Fist.
reveal themselves.
They're playing as Fran's son or something. Who's Fran?
Only believe, for the light liveth in thy heart.
My server is a CJ from San Andreas running around. Yeah, you can go nuts. People have made Virgil. People have made, like, just Guts from Berserk. Like, this game lets you get away with a lot. I had, like, the anniversary Final Fantasy VII. I mean, it was Advent Children, but it's still 7. Cloud outfit. So I glammed all my stuff to look like that, and it was pretty cool. If she gets pregnant, she'll have like 12 kids at minimum, though. She's a bunny girl. That's a lot of kids to take care of. Fram is from FF12, which he does show in Texas crossover. Oh, that's pretty cool. I never really played 12. Can you actually get the Dragon Slayer? Sorta, kinda. It's Nomura style, stuff. So you can tell there's obvious influences with Berserk, but they still go wildly off in their own direction.
Coming around now.
Twelve is where Vieira came from. Oh, that's cool.
Would you mind telling me what that was?
I tried 12, didn't love it.
If
Yeah.
I only knew. A denizen of the void at any rate.
Hey, nerds, play Crystal Chronicles. I hear that one's
The
pretty
void
divisive.
sent? Yeah, but how?
The question isn't how, but who. We're not dealing with bookless bandits. Don't
Bunny
suppose
girl
the
will die
answer
during
came to you in a
childbirth.
dream?
The Warrior of Light's a goddamn bunny girl. Seen Primal Season 2, they're making a 3rd allegedly. Yeah, supposedly.
No sooner did you fell the beast than you fell asleep. Too much ether, no doubt. Interesting. I hadn't considered the crystal.
Alright, give me 2 seconds. I say when I click off, the audio is going to cut out, so I'll try to do it in between dialogue. Mark 99 for $2. As a nigga going to bed, all I have to say is good night, stay safe, remember, drink some water. Drink some water.
But
Want
of
the
course,
gremlin.
this changes everything. Oh, just thinking aloud? At any rate, we haven't a moment to spare. I must return and report this at once.
Do you see there's new Superman? Not feeling it. Yeah, I feel bad for the guy, because he has to replace Henry. And even if you didn't like the Zack Snyder movies, a lot of people liked Henry Cavill.
I leave Lady Lilira in your capable hands.
Bunny girl fell asleep near femboy, pregnancy confirmed.
How dare you pass me about like a swaddled babe?
Have you started over in Final Fantasy? You talking about 14? Yeah. This is a new character I made just to, like, for the stream.
I shall return and tell them myself.
It's your first time 14? No, I have another character and I've put like 110 hours in for her.
As you wish. your impetuousness. I suspect we shall meet again before long.
It is my first time running a DPS class, though.
Until then, do try and stay awake.
How do you intend to stream on Twitch without speedrunning or being banned? I'll figure it out. So you're gonna turn into an FF14 streamer now? HRT is already in the mail. I'm on 14 right now. It's really good. How much of 14 is free? There's a free trial that you can play up until, some guy said, about halfway through Heaven's Ward. After that, yeah, you're gonna have to buy a subscription. But it's really good. So only 110, not thousands of hours. No, only 110. I've only been playing the tank class. It's my first time doing DPS shit. So I used main tank for a long time. Near Endwalker, switch to DPS, Samurai. A lot of people really like Samurai, mainly because they'll just let you be Virgil. Is Tuesday gonna be Final Fantasy 14 stream? Or are you gonna play other games? I'll figure it out. That's it. This is a lot of I'll figure it out territory. Now you get all of Heaven's Ward. Oh, okay. So yeah, that's enough of an investment. Between A Realm Reborn and Heaven's Ward, that's like God knows how many hours. I just finished Titan boss in 16. Holy Mother of God, to do that boss fight on stream. We did. We did in fact fight Hugo. Unless you mean the actual like Titan, which no, I've not gotten to him yet. And these are just midgets talking, so we don't care about them. Bro, Realm Reborn took me forever. Yeah, it is literally just a tutorial. Like, it just kind of, like, introduces you to all the factions, who everybody is, and, like, you get to fight a few of the fucking, gods, and then the Empire shows up, and then you fight the Empire. Personally, I kind of like A Realm Reborn, at least when the Empire shows up. When the Empire shows up, that's the cool part, because I really like them. Like, they're genuinely great villains. Should I have Henry Guns? Batman's rumored to be in his 40s, while Superman's in his 30s, which doesn't make sense. They're the same age. Yeah. Well, they want to do a thing of like, oh, new Superman who's just learning the ropes, and it's like, no one wants that though, because like, Man of Steel, even if it's not really that great, at least that served that role. For the love of God, give people the dun 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 Superman, you know. You think you can overtake old Yorkshire Gits on the Final Fantasy 14 side of YouTube? I saw that, and, you know, Godspeed on that man. He's getting like 47 views, but he doesn't give a fuck. He's just having fun. He doesn't care about the money. He's in it for the love of the game. How bad was 14 at launch? How is launch 14 different from post Realm Reborn? From what I understand, launch 14 was hilariously bad. Like, buggy, it broke all the time, it just was boring, it didn't know what it wanted to do. So they fucking killed everybody off. I'm not even kidding. They killed everybody off. That's where you get like the cutscene of like the world being consumed from Bahamut. And 14, as you see it, I mean, obviously it changed a lot due to shit like patches and expansions. It basically is just actually finishing a lot of the ideas that 14 launch started but never got around to. There's like 1,000,001 different documentaries talking about the rebirth of 14. Bearded Vulture, $5. Have you ever heard of or read 68's comic that takes place during a zombie outbreak during Vietnam War? That actually sounds kind of cool. Is that the one where like you basically get like Vietnam era hunk, and he's a dude with a gas mask and a machete, and he's like killing Viet Cong zombies? I think I've seen some pics of that, and I always thought it looked kind of dope. Why does the child have a mustache? Oh, yeah, here. Yeah, a lot of the like the quests in 14 are either go give random NPC random thing that doesn't really matter, you can ignore all this, or it's like cutscenes with voice acting and like actual production value behind it. Big Buddha 8894 for $5. Damn it, Lolly, you play Grads Tuesday, not Saturday. What are you doing? You know, you can't give chat more than one stream a week. They get less clingy. Give me one quick sec. Like I said, I'm gonna have to click off sometimes, check Streamlabs. So, Eco for $1. I have this game. I haven't gotten around to playing it. What server are you on? We are currently on Marilith. Marilith. So that's gonna be the stream. The stream. Stream server. Meanwhile, he's on dead data. Yeah. I mean, that's just where it put me. I thought I could be on like Helican Arson, just have 2 characters to it, but no. Favorite game? I don't know. I like Resident Evil 4 a lot. I'm just killing these for the sake of getting them out of the way. Only MMO I ever played was Black Desert. It was aight. This is the only other game I've considered. It's really good. Starfield mods can make the game a 10 out of 10. That's something I will say. It's like, yeah, no matter how much we'll make fun of Starfield, eventually there's gonna be like a fan mod that like completely changes the landscape of modding. And everyone's like, holy fuck. Like, yeah. Bethesda fans are something else. Bearded Vulture for $2. Yes, his name is Jungle Jim. Oh, that's pretty cool. I might check it out then. Favorite Final Fantasy game? I really like Tactics. I really like this one, even though you can't really, Dark Knight questline actually addresses the side quest, making you an errand boy, and that's don't you just want to go ape shit? Yeah, because you have literally just the Beast of Darkness in your head, and it wants you to kill people. I'm not even kidding. It's literally the Beast of Darkness. It's the evil voice inside your head that demands you kill people. It's nice. The adoring fan is now in space. Yeah. May he rest among the stars. Which I know the joke was like he was super annoying, but he actually came in really handy in fights for some reason. Hippie Dingbat, $5. Up while playing Battletech while watching your stream before I go to bed. Remember, the Capillions aren't people, so war crimes are okay. Listen, war crimes in the Battletech setting are always just matters of circumstance. Matters of perspective. What you may call 20 civilians dead in a misfire accident, I call unintended bonuses. Chainsaw Man today was fucking great. Oh, new chapter dropped? I'll have to check that out to read that. Dark Knight storyline is the player going schizo and it's just show to telling the player to tell everyone to fuck off and do their own fetch quest. Yeah, the fucking edgelord. What's up with the Skullgirls thing? The devs that are now in charge of the IP are removing a bunch of stuff. Oh yeah, we have to do like item level shit. They're removing a bunch of stuff for the sake of like racism and underage sexuality, which, to bring up that point, the character they're talking about, her name is like Marilyn or something? Marilyn? She's like 16 and she's fake and not real. And they had an official porn parody with Zontan. So it's like, who fucking cares? Okay. And this is just, like, thank you, Moogle. Oh yeah, this is the cloud. Let me set it to... Yeah, we still have all the recommended gear. Go Wilco Brook. Yeah. Philia, that was her name. Yeah, Philia. I could not remember her name. I admit, I'm not the biggest Skullgirls fan. I'm purely of the opinion of, like, hey, you shouldn't be allowed to go in and, like, edit content that was, for one, Kickstarter backed. Like, literally, some of the stuff they're editing was shit that was specifically stretch goals for the Kickstarter to make the game in the first place. That's fucked up. Also, guest art from, like, artists that wanted to collaborate and support the game. Like, there's a whole bunch of it that just goes past a line of, why is no one thinking that this is just actively fucked up and not okay? And as you can see, we actually got some people here. We can go hauling around on a Tuesday night. How'd you do Alexander questline and Heaven's Ward? Music is lit. It was pretty good. It was pretty fucking good. Resume Zone's tweeting lines at gunpoint so the team doesn't let loose that he used voice clips from a then underage V and his porn parodies at least twice. That is true. I think that's a large part of it, because, you know, the fucking, I'm trying to remember the exact word of it. The Mike Z situation, from what I understand, is one of those where people debate a lot about what actually happened. And it's a thing where, like, yeah, he was kind of nuts and didn't know proper boundaries with people, but to outright call him a rapist is to the point of you're not really being honest about shit. So, okay. I hate how sterile companies want everything to be. Yeah. You know, once again, it's a thing of, you know, how dare you take inspiration from, like, Nazi aesthetic for a faction that, you know, is meant to be authoritarian. They're not directly evil, but, like, in the faction, from what I understand, they're an overcorrection to crime that goes too far, but they're also, like, one of the few people fighting against it. You know, shit like that. At least that's from what I understand. Like I said, I don't know much about Skullgirls. I'm purely looking at it from the angle of, like, why are you giving companies the ability to go in 10 years after the game comes out and edit shit and just yell at you for having a problem with that? Like, what the fuck? Mike Z won a court case for defamation. He's also autistic and never raped or sexually assaulted anyone. Yeah, that's something I kept hearing too, where, like, he didn't do anything. He's just kind of weird. Make it worse when you realize that Zone was in charge of the game's art direction, literally erasing a building block of your series. Yeah. I mean, it's a thing of, like, really? You are that insecure about it. Like, that's just fucked. And the only response people have over and over and over again is porn addict. And it's like, it's shit like this that lets Blizzard get away with fucking murder, because anytime anyone wants to complain about shit they do, it's like, well, you only care because you can't jerk off to women. It's like, no, I care about the fact they killed a woman. People out here messing with people who really need community support. Yeah. Zone wasn't in charge of art direction. Alex Ahad was. Okay, yeah. Yeah. And Ahad was one of the ones that got booted out. Which, from what I understand, like, people had the excuse with Mike Z that he got accused of stuff, but from what I understand with Alex, everyone agrees that was, like, hostile takeover shit, and he got forced out, so. What does a leg sweep do? Oh, just stuff. Okay. Blizzard kill somebody? Yeah, when the accusations about Blizzard's misconduct came out, one of the big events that pushed it and made people go, oh shit, this is serious, was they ended up driving one of their employees to suicide. Specifically due to, like, sexual assault and harassment. Which is why, like, I had that very firm, like, no, I'm not playing fucking Diablo 4, go fuck yourself. And seeing people play it and then want to do the mealy mouth, like, well, you know, I don't want to be part of the chuds. It's like, fuck you. You have no fucking principles. Pinance Master $2. Thoughts on Final Fantasy 11? Wasn't that the MMO before 14? Because if I remember right, that one had, like, weird shit to it, like super bosses that went over, like, 1,000,000 health and shit like that. Mark Gabe's Great Type $2. So talking about Nazi aesthetic, I miss Killzone. Yeah. Like, you honestly can't do that today. And it's really sad that people say over and over again, man, it sucks we can't do that today, and then, you know, have a fucking tampon up their ass when they look at shit like the Skullgirls thing, where it's literally just, you know, German-style aesthetic with the armband, and they're trying to get across, like, they're kind of authoritarian, they're not really the best people. It's like, Jesus Christ. And it's all teenagers. Like, that's the thing. The crowd really pushing the fuck the Skullgirls and censor everything crowd. It's people that are, like, just hitting 20. And they're accusing everybody else of not being fans. It's like, motherfucker, you were a literal, you know, like, glint in your daddy's ballsack when the fucking game came out. I remember when that shit launched and Super Best Friends had the Skullgirls release party all day, every day shit, where, like, they were really hyped about the game and they were putting on, like, top 10 lists. Like, I fucking remember the game being praised to high end for being everything that it is now. Well, that is now being hated for. It's like, fuck you. Ugh. I just looked at their revisions, didn't even know they removed the Soviet announcer pack. They removed it because Mike Z voiced it. And remember, they want to unperson Mike Z. I tried telling my dad you don't have to buy games from terrible companies, but he doesn't care. Yeah, it's people have gotten to the point where they've legitimately buck broken themselves, and they just actively refuse to not give money to companies they don't like. Like I said, I don't like Blizzard, so I'm not even gonna fucking pirate Diablo 4. It's like I don't want to. I don't even like Diablo that much. I played bits and pieces of Diablo 3, but I never got into it, and I just have no desire to touch their games. You know, the only reason I even played Dead Space Remake was specifically because a buddy gifted me a copy. I was gonna pirate it. Who's Mike Z? One of the head developers of Skullgirls. Hey, Lolly, I think I'm being arrested tonight. Yeah, Dick's out party. Yeah, this is the job quest for Pugilist. I really hope I get to beat the shit out of this little Lalafell. I just don't like Lalafells. Moralizing consumption's a dicey subject. Yeah, because I talked about it when I made the fucking Harry Potter video, where it's like, when you want to go after one, you have to go after this one, and then that one, and then this one, and then that one. It never ends. You know, there are occasions where you can absolutely be like, no, I'm taking a fucking stand, I'm not doing this. But then there's other times where you have to learn, like, get the fuck over it. Because you literally won't be able to enjoy anything. I like playing as a little goofball. The little goofballs have always been dicks. Every time I run a dungeon with a fucking Lalafell player, they yell at me, and it's like, motherfucker. Blizzard employee killed herself, did it during a business trip with her boss, and she did it in the hotel room. Yeah, it's like, it was something so over the top. And on top of that, you had the Cosby room, and you had the stealing breast milk, and like, all this over the top shit that screamed in people's ears, stop buying into pink capitalism shit, stop doing this, stop doing that. Like, they're fucking lying to you. Why do you idiots keep falling for this shit? And without fail, like, they go right back to what they're doing and pretending they are still rebelling. We deserve the hate. We do. We failed. Oh, now I have access to armory system. Quest to unlock the class can be undertaken. Yep. Yeah. Basically, now we can run other classes where it's like here. So now we can like train under other people and do other stuff. So if I want to go from pugilist to like conjurer, I can do that. Spirit is willing. We got to be level 15 to do this one, and it'll give us okay. Opens a chakra, up to 5 chakra can be opened at once. Open all 5 chakras when outside of combat. Triggers cooldown weapon skills upon execution. Conversely, execution weapon skills trigger the cooldown of this action. Action changes to steel peak when all 5 chakras are open. I have no idea what that means. We're going to have to figure that out. No, stop enjoying what you like. Don't be Nick like us. The good guys be on the right side of history. Yeah, shit like that. Summoner is really fun. I have not touched magic at all in this game. I've been scared to. A big boy clutch, $5. You see that Philosophy Tube is going to be in a Star Wars show. It's more over than I ever thought possible. I can't wait for that to happen, and then that's when BreadTube all cancel him for being a sex weirdo. Because apparently it's like an open secret that him in particular is a massive sex weirdo, and they all have dirt on him, and they're all like, I could cancel you if I want to, and they just don't. I guarantee the minute he's in the fucking Star Wars show is when all of a sudden it's like, here's why he's a horrible human being, you know? Okay. So now we can go over there because we had to get above item level 5. Might ask why I'm not doing quests like this, because they're fucking useless. Like, I'll show you. You get like 100 gil and like 50 XP. It's not worth it. A lot of the side quests, you're not doing it for the reward, and that's how it kind of tricks a lot of people in the early game. They try doing like every side quest they can, and they burn themselves out. It's like, nah, you don't really do that. You want to do like you want to do shit that matters, like story stuff and job quests. And you find the side quests that have the best stories and are funny, and then you do those. Because there are some that are genuinely pretty fucking funny. Like, everyone loves the one where the guy suplexes the other dude. Like, those are funny as hell. We do not have any tombstones, so we don't need this. We need to find the actual, like, there he is, mail. Arcade script, I have $2. A repeat of Lindsay Ellis, let's go. That's what I'm taking my bet on. What made you become a house seller? Real estate's just good, you know, field to be in because it makes money. I'm not even like a dedicated real estate agent. No, you know, I have been considering, it's like, I might. Oh, shit. I can get the whale. And SDS Fenrir. Oh, and the lunar whale. Favorite Lovecraftian movie? Mine's Reanimator, but From Beyond and The Void are great too. I really like The Void. The Void's awesome. But personally, I think like best Lovecraft one, definitely The Thing. Okay. So, I did not realize that we could get mounts this early. I thought you had to like wait until a certain side quest before you could do this mount, because it's where you get the Chocobo one. And I thought naturally from there, okay, then you go from Chocobo to you know, other mounts. So y'all can't handle it. A multi-seater? Yeah. They had an event where you could get like the fucking Final Fantasy 15 car. And the Final Fantasy 15 car from there, you could hold like 4 people. And you could all like go on a road trip like in the fucking game. Alright. Damn you. Won't let me summon the whale. So we have to do the fucking Chocobo side quest, okay. But we have the whale. That's the important part. Meaning, yeah, we have to do a lot of running. This is this part that sucks. When are you gonna sacrifice Chocobo to Allah for the Eid? Really miss Legacy Gubu mount I had on my first count. I never got that one. Your Legacy character, you get a special event for your Chocobo. That's awesome. Those are store mounts like worth $100 or more. You're not sprinting? Sprint, you get like 10 seconds of it. So I always use this as kind of like my time where I'm listening to a podcast or something. It sounds weird, but I hate every single video game reviewer. Fair enough. Now let me swap on over. Like I said, downtime, so I can actually like... Okay. Updating Streamlabs. People are trying to message me. Fuck off! How late is it where you live? Aren't you supposed to fix your sleep schedule? It's only just now hitting midnight, so I'm good. And I've kind of always been a night owl, so... I'm level 5. Okay, so... Everything has to be above... Okay. So now we actually do kind of have to do some grindy shit. In this case... Look at another hunt. Okay, Western Thanalan. We go to Hammerley and fight the nesting buzzard. As we fight all these, we can get some decent enough XP. And then from there, we can do some other stuff. Am I going to Western or Eastern? Okay, there we go. Welcome to early game 14. It's annoying. Breast milk bandits still terrorizing the break room refrigerators at Activision Blizzard to this day. I like to think it's like the good and the bad and the ugly, and like another Blizzard employee tried to steal like a whole cache of breast milk, and he fell face first in it, and he looks up and he sees the breast milk bandit riding away, and he's like, no, where he gets like the full blame for it all. "10 hours this till you get the mount." Yep. Yep. Whole lot of running. SDS Fenrir is actually ever so slightly faster than all the other mounts. Yeah, it's faster. I just like the I just like the gimmick of the whale, like flying in on a big whale, and you hear the whale like do like the call, and everyone's like, what the fuck? And then you just like barge in the middle of town and be like, yeah, say something, asshole. We can also do fates. Fates can level it up, but eh. Can't wait $2. So is the game worth getting into just now? I'd say so. Yeah, it's gonna get a new expansion pretty soon. Why not? Like, it's getting a new expansion because they've teased it sometimes. Like, they've teased it, and yeah, it is due for like one more. There we go. How you doing? Is Shota here? He is not. No, you're doing a solo one. Fuck it up. Fuck it up. There we go. Adrian Field's bro playing FF14. He gets no bitches. Seven point oh is gonna be another soft reboot. Oh, okay. Thoughts on the Nick Merckx crap show? Oh yeah, the dude who's like, hey, for the love of God, stop involving kids in like pride shit, and that pissed off Call of Duty. He's like, yeah. Funny girl being dinosaur chicken niggas. Yeah. Announcing XPAC details and end of next month at FanFest. Ooh, that'd be cool. How's progress in current video going? I expect to be up by like Friday at the latest. It's not going to be very long at all. A lot of it was I had to get a card reader so I could get the images from Japan off my camera and onto my computer. Because I had a bit where I was talking about the Japan saga in the beginning of the new video. So, you know, that was just a small thing, but I had to remember to do it each day. And I finally got that done, so it's like, yeah, okay. Never play any MMO, any game suggestion first time player. As stated, you can do 14. You can find classic servers of World of Warcraft, and a lot of people really like those. There's also stuff like The Division, if you're into more like Diablo type stuff. You know, you have options. There are a lot of options. And that didn't really yield us too much, so fuck it. When are you gonna play 6 Days in Fallujah? I played 6 Days in Fallujah. If you mean on stream, I have to get the right group for it, and I want to see... I want to, like, wait a few patches, because, like, at least for my machine, I have muddy graphics. Like, the graphics kind of like to break down a bit, and I don't want people to see that and think that's just how it looks. I think it's just something with my machine. Can you limit break in this game? Yes. I think you just have to get to the upgraded class to do it. When you actually get your class stone, that's when you're actually able to, like, limit break. And each archetype has their own. Like, DPS has one, tank has one, healers have one, shit like that. Now we can do... Yeah, we can do some of these. The plus blue, if I remember right, those are patch quests, and they can actually add some pretty useful stuff. Agent Killers here about the 14-year-old who defended his mom. I have no idea about any of that. Nope. Nope. We're going for as much as possible. We're not going for... Okay. Let me look at where I need to go for... Hammerly. So, yeah, around here. That's a house quest. Yeah. Got an interview. How confident should I act during it? Yeah, don't be afraid to admit you're nervous, but, like, yeah, you know, at least try to, you know, try to keep yourself together, where it's like, no, I can do this, I'm good. Just, if they ask if you're nervous, don't be afraid to be like, yeah, I kind of am. Oh. Fuck up the cactars. I won't give me that much, just on principle. Shot dude punching his mom, dude ran, his kid followed and kept shooting as he was running. That's something to where I agree with it on principle, but in legal-wise, he's gonna get in trouble. Because, you know, prosecutors love doing the, well, he was running away, why would you keep shooting? It's like, fuck you. Who do you think would win a death battle, Master Ultra Instinct, Goku, or Saitama? The joke with Saitama is that he always wins, so it'd be him. Cactars! TFM says, wear slacks, a button-down shirt, and a tie to your interview. You have to go that far. Like, as long as it's a button-down shirt and slacks, you're okay. But yeah, try to look presentable. Don't look like you just walked in or a homeless guy. I made that mistake sometimes with my interviews where I would like rush out the door and I didn't realize how like rough I looked, and it's like, yeah, no wonder I didn't get a call back. Who'd win in a fight, a chair or a table? My mom will win because she hits like a truck and smacked the shit out of me in my childhood. Homie, are you good? Am I the only one who would still like to play the original 2009 build of 6 Days of Fallujah before it got canceled? I would also like to. That'd be something where, like, I know we got the Duke Nukem leaks where they leaked like I think it was the 1999 build. I would like to see kind of like the early build of 6 Days of Fallujah get leaked out. I think that'd be interesting. People are still trying to make a fuss about it where it's like, oh, well, why would I play the war crime simulator? Everyone's basically going, shut the fuck up. Okay. Oh, I think I see them. Yeah, there they are. I do like the box archetype. Wish there were more of them in RPGs. They're pretty fun. Problem is they never let them have like the damage to back it up. It's always more about, oh, well, they're the fastest one, but they have the worst range and they don't do enough damage, so they end up just getting outclassed by other stuff. Don't work a job that you know you're gonna hate. Yeah, I mean, it's something where I know all the time people say, oh yeah, I love working with people, even though that's not true. Don't be afraid to be like, listen, I would kind of prefer doing my own thing and kind of having my own area to work with and not having to deal with people. They'll appreciate the honesty. Because yeah, it's like no one likes working with people, at least in the sense of, yeah, and you have to work with the worst people imaginable who are going to be up your fucking ass. What movie should I watch? Fifth Element or Aliens? I really like Aliens. Black Belt in FF1 was the best class in the second half of the game. When you can start getting to higher levels, they absolutely stomped even boss level enemies. That's pretty good. War Crime Simulator. Yeah, I bet these people are just saying that, buying the new Diablo. Yeah. I mean, that's honestly the best way to put it. It's like, yeah, it's so horrible and unethical. Why would you ever, like, reward a company like that? Meanwhile, they're buying fucking Blizzard games. Robert Roberta. Yeah, it's Rabid Roberta. You should have seen it. You should have seen it when we were actually in character creation. Everyone wanted to rename Pippa, and it's like, listen, let's get to the point of being parasocial, okay? Hell, I made her black just to spite them. Yeah, I do name my party in that game after Bane, CIA, Dr. Pavel, and the Wreckage Brothers. To the dude who's going to do a job interview, look up Chopper Reed job interview and follow Chopper's advice to the letter. Fuck your seat. Stinky Rabbit GF. No. You're parasocial. I was talking to a cute coworker about Final Fantasy. Turns out she likes the franchise too. Should I go for it, boys? Ask her what's her favorite. That's an important one. That's how you understand who she is as a person. If it's like one of the ones before 6, she's a liar because no one played those. If it's 6, she's a casual. If it's 7, she's an ultra casual. If it's tactics, put a ring on her. If it's 13, it's okay. Yeah, we're gonna do the house quest real quick just to get out of the fucking way. We gotta go to the goblet. What if it's X? Underrated. Very underrated. Like 2 guys wanted to be white. That's how many people were watching that stream. So yeah, this is the housing system where you can like buy property. I don't do that because, you know, why would I have a house that's stupid and gets in the way of adventure? You literally post Mume in the Discord, and Mume is good. She is underrated. Many people have played 4, you retard. Doubt. Doubt. Ad hominem. Appeal to emotion. I played FF1 solely because the chaos memes. There you go. Yeah. Having houses are cool. I don't want to deal with that. They're annoying. It's like, no. I want no home. I want to adventure forever. Murder Hobo Inc. Exactly. Oh, technically you get a house in Heaven's Ward. You know, you live with the one noble dude. There you go. That's my house. That's all I need. I don't want to live with other people. They're losers. No mooming allowed. Fuck you. Housing is a huge gil sink anyway. Well, they had to find a way to get you to use gil. Otherwise, it's like, okay, now you're stuck with 1,000,000 gil and you don't know what to fucking do with it. FF4 was a slog at the midpoint, then you reach the moon and nearly TP KO'd by a fucking random encounter. Holy shit. Alright, so we did your stupid house quest. I always get the most radical YouTube recommendations left and right. Yeah, radical! 3 is my favorite because I'm a fucking hipster. I have not played any of the ones before 6. So when I joke about them, I'm just like, hey, I literally know nothing about them. But I guess people like them. Alright. So. Let's actually go and see if we can get some fucking quests. So we can, like, you know, get some gear. Because right now I'm not too worried about level, it's about gear. Because we need all of our inventory to be at level 5 in order for us to do the main quest. Extreme YouTube recommendations. Are you ready to be X-Slayers? Play 3 and 4 remakes. They're on Steam and really good. I'll check those out. I know they just released, like, the remake pack, where it's like 1, 2, 6. And apparently those are really good. 6 is phenomenal of the atmosphere and art style. Yeah, 6 is really good. They're still referencing it to this very day. You know, it had to do something right. Alright. So I shook you down for money earlier. I will accept it because you might lead me to good stuff. All I know about Final Fantasy VI is that you suplex a Triton at that point, and that sounds cool. It is where the idea of Magitech really became a thing, and it has like some of the most recognizable characters. Like, if I remember right, 6 is where you got Vivi, and they've been referencing Vivi in like every fucking game since the little blue mage. Talk about the 3D versions of 3 and 4, not the remasters. Oh, okay, so there's like full-on remakes. That's interesting. That is very interesting. I will not learn magic. I'm not a nerd. 6 is really good, but both way overhyped and completely overshadowed by 7. Yeah. That's why I like Tactics. Tactics is like one of those where it's good and it gets just enough attention. Vivi was 9? No, I could have sworn it was 6. Because you had a little pixel. You know, Pixel Vivi. And his little blue mage. Maybe I just have dementia. I'm thinking of someone else. Lightning shard. And it's like crafting shit, but whatever. Tactics goat. Yep. Explain tactics to someone who never played Final Fantasy. Okay, so everyone knows Final Fantasy as like basically the combat system of 7, where you have ATB. It's turn-based, but everyone's on a timer to when they get their turn. You know, basically turn-based combat. You know, you pick you're lined up in front of the enemy, you pick your attack, and then you just trade blows until somebody dies. Tactics is more... Take that, but add Fire Emblem to it. So you have characters in a map that have to move around, and they can do different things, such as get up on a hill to get an aim bonus. They can trick enemies into going to like a puddle of water and casting lightning on them, stuff like that. It's tactics. It's Fire Emblem, but with ended up being like one of the most in-depth of the franchise, and along with being super in-depth, it also has like one of the better stories, even though the tactics one's a little simple, where it's just, hey, stop the bad guy from killing your sister. Tactics Ogre. Tactics Ogre is another really good... Yeah, Tactics Ogre is literally just the DNA to it, so... Fire Emblem Fantasy. Yeah, there you go. Isn't Sid in every Final Fantasy game? Yeah. Sid's a running character. He always shows up. He always has a role. He's in 14. It's just, you know, how important he is kind of varies. 15 used him mainly is just like a joke. Eco for $1. Ever played any Rain Man games? Not particularly. I didn't play too much. I mainly played stuff like Conquer or Super Mario Bros. I know Rain Man's really fun. The games I did play were like really good. I've been playing 10. Seems pretty on rails. They always seem on rails up until they let you loose. That's just kind of the nature of JRPGs. 15's pretty cute chick. That's his daughter, Cindy. Actual Sid, you meet him, and he's old man Sid. And he's sitting, like, outside, and he upgrades your weapons. Sid, Mother Crystals, and Icons are in every Final Fantasy game. Mother Crystals are kind of the weird ones, where sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. Or at least, like, their role can vary all over the fucking place. Like, 7 didn't really talk about the Mother Crystals from what I remember. Not too much. They were there, but I don't remember them. But yeah, icons, like the gods, they're in every fucking game. They're your summons, and how important they are can be all over the fucking place. Like, 7 used them purely as summons, and they didn't really matter whatsoever. 16, they are literally the point of the story. Final Fantasy 16 Sid might be the best one. He is really cool. Random question, were there any movies you and your dad bond over? Oh, yeah. Big Trouble in Little China, we watched a lot of that. Aliens, watched that. Like, there's a ton. I think about it, wouldn't Super Mario RPG technically count as a Final Fantasy game? No. No, that has its own system. Sid was not in 1. Okay, good to know. So he's not in 1. He shows up after that. Okay. 7 was mostly about the live stream in Mako. Yeah, like I said, I know they might reference the life crystals because I think that's how you got materia, but it was never a big part of the story. It was always something else. They were important in 6 too. They were the Espers, which were a pivotal plot point. Yeah. Like I said, I remembered them in 6 because 6 was all about the separation between technology and like traditional fantasy stuff. It's where you got Magitech as like a big conflict. Okay. The first Sid Hayes, first appeared in FF3, but a character with the name. Okay. I just want my cool loot. Let me have cool loot. Speaking of Mario RPG, I wonder if we'll get the Kulix fight in the remake. That would be interesting. I'm really curious how they're going to do the remake, because like, I hope they don't tone down the minigames. They're always the fun part of Super Mario. You know, Super Mario RPG. You have nothing good. That is better. Bro, just beat the game already. You know what? I will take your quest purely because you might eventually lead me to something good. If not, I can sell the shit you give me. Why aren't you a superior Auru or Aura? Because chat had a parasocial identity crisis and they demanded Pippa, and I just went with Black Chick. I didn't play 2, but that's good to know. Sid's debut is in 3. It's my second favorite Final Fantasy game. Yeah, from what I understand, 2 has like kind of a weird stat system where like to win you have to lose. Like you had to get your ass kicked in fights and then your defense would buff up. It's weird. Remember Sid in 16 looked at his daughter and said mid. That's a good name. There's frequently a SID connected to transportation or magic research in some way, but the name is just running element traditional, but they aren't connected. Yeah, no, it's just always been a running joke throughout the franchise. There's always a SID. Not luge, just tank hits. Yeah, it's weird. I want Gino gone just to see the reaction from all the people who formed this cult of personality around the character. Alright. So, where is this at? Okay, so right over there. This is the one that won't even give me good shit, so fuck it. 2 stats made some sense. It's where magic it gets tricky from what I heard. Okay. 2 has the style of stat that Skyrim has a Skyrim style of stat increases. Gotta get hit for more health, use sword to get better, and magic for better magic. Okay. So it's not too out there, it's just for the time. It was like, what, really? Everything was grinding via actions in 2 is groundwork games that have passive setups outside of levels. Okay. Which I'm not against the idea. Passive stat ups I always thought were kind of interesting. Because it kind of, it makes it to where, like, now you're looking at everything in the environment as a way to increase stat and gradually get more powerful. I like games like that. Like, Ghost of Tsushima does that really well, where you're always looking around the map for something to, you know, boost up your skills just a little bit higher. It's like, shit like that's fun. YouTuber stuff can be fun, but it always gives me a bad gut feeling. Shit. Here, let's go with money. Do you give me anything cool? No, you will not. Fuck you. And we got to level up. That's pretty good. I enjoyed 10, but I had to do a lot of grinding towards the end because I was super under level for the final boss. Those puzzles can really suck. Yeah, 10 puzzles can get a little kooky. But I like 10 because if you know what you're doing, you can end up breaking it to where even if you are under leveled, you can just gimp the bosses in like hilarious ways. Like debuffs can go nuts if you put enough time into them. Red Mage is fun until you have to toss for better class in some FF games. Yeah. Okay. So Central Thanlin it says, so we have to go there. Better that than just go all the way through the city again. It's worth it to play the first few Final Fantasy games once, but 1 to 3 haven't aged that well. 5 took all of 3 systems and improved them in every way possible. Okay. You also had a weird phase system where you had to go find pieces of dialogue to progress. Huh. Imagine calling your child mid. Be sure to debuff new people, make a huge difference. Yeah. God, I miss playing this game. I want to play it again. I start a new job and in training. Yeah. This is one of those where I have to be careful with it or I'll eat up tons of my time. Use slow on 10. That spell is busted. It is. Like, holy shit. You can literally go through an entire boss fights where the boss isn't even allowed to... They're not even allowed to do, like, a single action because you just debuff the shit out of them with slow. Okay, so there. Did you see the Generation Kill Marines reunion? Holy shit, I was not ready for Josh Ray Pearson to be that big of a dude. That man is fucking jacked and they casted a small white boy. Yeah. Like, kind of nuts. Like, then you remember, holy shit, it's been like fucking more than 15 years since that show came out. It's like, Jesus. Makes you feel old. Red Mage was only ever useful in FF1. He was a good substitute for the White Mage since he could actually deal damage as well as heal. Haste slow combo in 10. Let me violate the Chocobo Eater. Yeah. Jet Boss fight music is sweet. Yeah. Like I said, every Final Fantasy has pretty good music. Super Best Friends play 10. Playthrough was the best. Racist Waka is my favorite joke. Yeah. God, I miss those days. I miss those days. I love 3 remake to death. After I played 5, it's hard to go back. Yeah, I mean, like, there are some sequels that are just better than the ones that came before it. Yeah. Hey, brother. Yeah. Oh. Now I'm sad. Fuck. It's funny because Rudy looks the same as he did back then. Man is not aged today. He takes care of himself. Isn't he outright like a model now? They cast the actor for Rain Generation Kill because he nailed the personality of him despite being very skinny compared to Real Ray. Yeah, Real Ray was kind of a big dude. Like, you can see him in, they did, like, an interview with all the guys, like, as the show was airing. And, yeah, the guy that's Ray, like, actual Ray in real life, he looks nothing like the fucking actor. He does model for Beyond Clothing, yeah. Yep. Okay. In my new pants. Okay. So, 5, 11, 5, 5. I do believe we might be able to do... Okay, it still says no. Might make us get a helmet. Let me check over there. You like EDF? Yeah, Earth Defense Force? Game's fucking cool. The Eye Spiral, the solution is final. Or Silent Hill 2 LP was probably my favorite. It was really good, because you could hear how much Pat loved Silent Hill 2, and he would always gush about it, and it's like, oh, this is what this part represents, this is what this part represents. Like, yeah, it's hard not to appreciate, like, genuine love for a franchise. 3 had an incredibly threadbare story to account for the class customization for the characters who didn't even have names. The remake expanded the story, but still sparse. That is kind of the worry. It's like, do you want to allow people to do whatever they want, or do you actually have to, like, rope them into some kind of rule set to work with a story? That's why a lot of JRPGs tend to just go with, like, no, your main character is a specific class that can just do a lot of stuff, and just kind of not really emphasize a lot of that. That's the most recent Chainsaw Man chapter. I have not read it yet. I know it just came out, but I have not read it. Do you watch anything from Dubas Goobus? He's the animator, right? Because I think I've seen a few of his stuff, and yeah, he's pretty good. Would you recommend 14 as a first MMO for someone who spent most of their life thinking MMOs are gay? I definitely think so. If you get the right group of buddies to play it with, it's a lot of fun. And if you just like, you know, Final Fantasy stuff and JRPG stuff, it's really good. What's your favorite boss fight in 16? I've not beaten through the game yet, but when we were fighting Hugo on stream, that was a lot of fun. That was really good. 5 perfected the class system and actually has defined characters' personalities as well as a much more defined story. Yeah, that's good. I haven't played EDF since 2017. How is the series now? I don't know. I don't know if there's many new ones that came out. Will you stream the Goodbye Volcano High demo? Probably not. I have no interest in Snoop Game. This is okay, but he's at least Betty. Then better than that sunny guest on Only Place. Is 16 any good? It's looking a little watered down character action. Get a little more varied movesets later on. I like it a lot, and a lot of it's just how you chain together icon abilities. It is a lot of fun, personally. I like it. I know some people are worried, like, oh, but it's just watered down Final Fantasy. It doesn't feel that way at all to me. Until Hugo got punched by a twink. That was great. Been learning 2D cell painting recently. I think I understand why they switched to digital, and even that didn't help. Yeah. Most undead bosses because you can insta-kill them with X Potion or Phoenix Down. Ghost Train and 6 the best boss fight in the whole franchise because you can suplex it and it dies in one hit most of the time. Yeah. Dicks out for Hugo. There we go. Yeah, my right mouse button on my mouse is a little wonky. It's a little wonky. I'm not gonna kill rats for you. You're about the Chinese cosplay model who spray tanned to be black 2B, 2C. People on Twitter having a meltdown over finding out she's Asian. They default to calling her white. Oh god. Yeah, you gotta love it how, like, it's just... people just naturally assume they can shit on white people for stuff. 16 feels like they actually listened to the complaints people had about 15 and learned from them. Really does. Where it's like, oh, okay, so people actually like this, and they like this. Like, yes. Yes, we do. Okay, so yeah, we do have to have a helmet. Okay. Well, in that case, here. Trying to avoid it, but... we shall go with eye patch. There. Now we're good to go. White people invented feminism. Just join the stream. You stream, or your pulse finally dropped during the trip? Nah, it's I am like just trying to find the right words for it, but it's like I was dealing with a sinus infection, and now I am cleared out of that, but my voice still sounds a little like blah, blah, blah. I don't even feel bad anymore. It's just how it sounds. The song that plays during the beginning of the stream, that was Bullets by Archive. Unless you're talking about the one before that, which is, that is the Dead Rising. Oh, is that one? I need a high push, okay. That was the Dead Rising Mall theme. Do you ever think there's gonna be a day that someone does recognize you in real life because your voice? I don't know. Probably not. 16th combat was interesting to me. I expected to feel like DMC, and it was, but it also felt like Kingdom Hearts and a little bit of Omega Rising. Yeah, there was a lot to it. There's a lot of elements that they were clearly kind of messing around with, and I thought it was fun. I thought it was interesting. Asians are honorary whites to these nut jobs. Yeah, they can never decide. I have a friend in real life who unironically quoted the like honorary minority thing, like the adopted minority thing, where it's like, oh, well, you know, white people adopted Asians. Like, dude, are you fucking listening to yourself? Fuck up the jelly man. That's one thing I will say about 14. Every enemy starts doing AoE shit. Every single enemy. You squint your eyes while playing 16, you can see Dragon's Dogma 2. We're supposed to actually get more news on Dragon's Dogma 2 soon. Yep. Gotta keep you engaged. Yep. Yeah. And trust me, like some of the bosses you fight later on, it's just AoE after AoE after AoE after AoE. You're running all over the place. We adopted Asians if you consider nuking Japan and taking it over adoption. Ew. Someone will find you in public by talking about Ghost in the Shell and Berserk. Okay. We are too high level for all this stuff, so just take the gold. How far have you made it through the Xenoblade trilogy? I still need to finish 1. Then I'll go through 2 on New Game Plus and upgrade all the blades. Then I'll go through 3. So still a ways out, but I'm getting close. It's okay to be racist against Asians on the wrong side of history. They are until it's time for Stop Asian Hate, which exists until they remember the demographic of the people that mainly beat up Asians, and then it's Asians are honorary whites. It's like, oh shit, we could have went to this guy. But you know what? I like the eye patch more, so we're keeping the eye patch. Alright. Kick their ass! Dragon's Dogma Darker Risen got corrupted. That sucks. Alright. Fuck it up. Women eye patches are underrated. They are. Plus, it's like the only, you know, helmet thing that can put on my female characters I don't immediately hate. Some of the like crowns are okay, but I mainly go with the eye patch because it's the simplest. Wow. Take it, boy. What happened with Skullgirl? Stay or anyone chatting for me on it? Yeah. It got a new update that censored a bunch of art. Some of it was in like the digital art book that you could buy as an extra to the game. They went in and patched that to censor some pieces of art. And it's like, this is fucking insane. Like, it is insane that people honestly think that like this is okay to do. I started my FMMC and run in T3P. This game has me by the hair and refuses to let me go. I was gonna jump right into 4 after my first playthrough. Yeah, it's really good. And you'll notice 4 is a million times easier than 3. You have a lot more time. Especially 4 Golden. 4 Golden especially. You can do a whole bunch of stuff. Just keep on your social links. Loot box or battle pass to choose your poison. I choose neither. From a coworker of mine is a GF that's trans, but just complete bum bitch. That gaslights him constantly. We never saw eye to eye, but damn man, grow spine, you're a cop. Yeah. It's like what was that thing that Eli Roth said? It's like, you know, you can pretend like it's okay, but you have to fake a smile, and that always leads to like sinister implications. Okay. How far are you in Xenoblade 1? I think I'm on like chapter 11? I'm not too far away from like, you know, the midpoint of the game. I love how the people defending the Skullgirl censorship are completely missing the point and you just want to see a female character's panties argument. Yeah, which is why like I was on Twitter and I even said like, hey, you know, stop focusing on it from the perspective of, hey, you know, how dare you censor, you know, female characters that look attractive again. It's like, it's worse than that. They're going in and changing like a character's backstory. Like, there's a character named Big Band who was like nearly beaten to death by corrupt cops, and it's meant to be like almost an allegory to you know, to like, you know, black people getting attacked by the police. Like that's how it was from the get-go, and it's like a really important moment for that character, and they went in and like softened it by removing the scene of him actually being beaten, because it's like, well, we don't want to make people uncomfortable with that shit. And then, okay, we might actually need this. And on top of that, they removed like some of the imagery that implied that a certain faction in the game are inspired by the Nazis, because like the whole idea is they're authoritarian, and while they're fighting the ultra corrupt mafia, they're not the good guys themselves. Like they removed references to that, and anytime people want to fucking talk about it, they go, "What? You just complained that they got rid of the Nazi imagery?" And it's like, so what? We're not allowed to play fucking Wolfenstein now? It's like, what, your fucking delicate sensibilities can't handle implications that, yes, a group might be authoritarian. Like, what, are we not allowed to watch fucking Fullmetal Alchemist? It's like, and the worst part is, like we talked about earlier, it's about it's a bunch of fucking teenagers, like, teenagers who were not even fucking old enough to understand the game or buy it or even knew it existed, praising these censorship, you know, these censors coming out and trying to act like, well, you're all just a bunch of fucking porn addicts. Like, motherfucker, you weren't the one putting like thousands of hours into the fucking game like some people. Like some people who like love the franchise are like, man, fuck you and fuck this game. It's dead anyway. It's like, yeah, they just absolutely have no idea how bad the situation is. You know, you know what? I didn't care for seeing Samuel Jackson making a dude's son blow him for a blanket in Hateful Eight, but I didn't ask him to censor it. Exactly. It's like, you know, you're not doing this because you're genuinely offended. You're not doing this because you actually think it's harmful or some shit like that. You're doing it because, oh, well, I want to dunk on people on Twitter. It's like, fuck off, you fucking assholes. All you do is make things worse, and then you cry that nobody likes you. Can't handle Nazi imagery? Don't go see Indy 5. Not that anyone will see that trash anyway. Exactly. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about Nazi imagery? It's like, is Fullmetal Alchemist not okay? Is Man in the High Castle not okay? Is Wolfenstein not okay? Like, where does that end? And they try to say, like, well, they sexualized a minor. It's like, they sexualized one of the characters, Philia, who in lore is 16, but is also completely fictional. And they sexualized her for a decade straight, and no one had a problem with it. The game was praised to high hell. It's like, enough of this fucking, like, wannabe moral police bullshit. It's like, no, you fucking assholes are just liars. You're not doing it because you actually give a shit about anything. You're doing it because you think it'll get you clout. You need to pay monthly to pay FF? Yeah. You can buy more increments of time than a month, though. What game? Skullgirls. It's one of those double standards a lot of games are held to, like you said with JRPGs. Yeah, where it's like, okay, so Last of Us 2, we don't complain about, like, the hilariously gratuitous sex scene that comes out of fucking nowhere. We just pretend that's okay. But, you know, shit like Skullgirls, which is clearly anime inspired, it's like, oh, no, it's okay to censor that. It's like, fuck off. No, it's not. Especially not okay to censor shit like Kickstarter backers material. Like, you know, the announcer that got removed, once again, not even sexual at all. It was an announcer. They removed him, despite that being a Kickstarter backer, because it was Mike Z, and they wanted to erase all trace he was part of the fucking company. Never looking at the people crying minor in their likes. That was another thing where, like, when people were screaming, oh, well, porn addict, people would dig into their likes, and it's like, you're openly liking porn, what the fuck? And their response every single time is, well, I just like sexy pictures. Like, okay, so why is it okay for you and not anyone else? And there's never a fucking answer. It's like they think it's their attempt at trolling, and they don't understand that all they've done is shown that they don't care about any issue they claim to care about. Didn't the game explicitly paint the people who sexually harass Philia as bad? I assume so, yeah. Like, I fully admit, I never got super into Skullgirls. I never really got into the lore. I played bits and pieces of it, because, like, my brother would like it, and I would play with him. But it's like, dude, you know, I can look at stuff like, hey, we removed Kickstarter backer art and guest art which was made by people that wanted to support the game, and shit like that, and I can say, hey, that's fucked up and you're not supposed to do that. Zoomers really are the worst generation. The sad part is everyone had hope. Everyone's like, oh no, they'll want to rebel against, like, the losers are in charge right now, and not only did they not, they're the fucking, like, Hitler youth of that generation. They are so fucking hilariously worse and openly hypocritical than anyone. Like, they are fucking terrible. There we go. How was Japan? It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Just clouts and clicks. Yep. Social media did the one thing that Jack Thompson could never do. Got kids to hate video games. Why'd you ever put your faith in young people? Is Zone being dishonest to themselves or being a cock? A lot of people think that he's afraid of being canceled because, basically, the way Mike Z was forced out of the Skullgirls company was he was accused of sexual assault and making people uncomfortable. He actually won a defamation case against the person that accused him, because it turns out that she approached him first and outright said she was okay with sexually charged conversations. And it's to the point that some people have outright came up with full-blown conspiracy theories saying that she was hired by some people that worked at the studio to entrap him and force him out. I don't know how true that is, but that is a theory people have. And basically he was forced out, and after that, the other guy who helped basically found it, Alex Asahad, I think that was his name, also got forced out. And after that, all the people in charge have just been these... The best way to put it, and Shota described it best, after the two leads were forced as Skullgirls, you start seeing a lot of self-insert furry characters show up. Like clearly somebody's OC that was forced into the game and is now canon because they want it to be canon, and they don't care about how much it ties into the larger franchise. Start seeing a lot of that, from what I understand. And Zone has gotten in trouble in the past for, they would always do porn parodies, you know, like porn parodies of cartoons and stuff like that. and they did a porn parody of Avatar: The Last Airbender. Well, the character they used was Toph, you know, the blind girl. And the thing is, with Toph, her voice actress was underage, and Zone used direct lines from the show for the porn parody, so yeah, it's something they could get a lot of trouble for. And a lot of people think that he's kind of trying to hold his head down and be like, no, I like this, you know, please don't look at me, I'm okay with anything that goes on. Even when people sit him down and go like, listen, this is why we feel we're not okay with this, we think this is really fucked up and not something to support by any means. He doesn't fight back and go, oh, well, you know, you're a piece of shit, you're entitled. He goes, that's understandable, I believe in your perspective too. It's very obvious he's trying to make everyone happy. So a lot of people think that he's basically trying to be like, for the love of God, please don't hurt me, please don't hurt me. If they can get Shad, man, they can get anyone. Well, Shad was a fucking retard. When you outright make porn of, like, people's children and shit like that, and not even like, oh, some girl just turned 18 and he made porn of her. No, like, outright, like, 10-year-old children, you're gonna get a fucking ass beat. Your opinion on Mike Z? From what I understand, he was autistic as hell, but he was not, like, a predator. He was not a bad dude. Because he outright won the defamation case against the person that accused him of like, sexual shit. And it was, once again, one of those of, we'll accuse you on social media, but we won't go to the police. So, isn't Shad a burnout druggie at this point? He's trying to come back. Which is, it's one of those of, like, you look at it and go, yeah, my free speech, let's bring him back, let's bring back the good old days. Then you kind of remember what he did, and it's like, all right, he legitimately fucked himself, and it was his own damn fault it happened. He was just an asshole to the programmers and artists, though. Yeah, and I mean, at that point, it's like, there's tons of devs that are assholes to the people they work with. I mean, fuck's sake, look at AAA Gaming. And I understand the whole, like, well, we're not supposed to be like that, but it's like, look, you listen to some of the stories about it, and they would have you believe the guy's like fucking Hitler and he's raping people, the shit that Blizzard did. And you look into it, it's just not really that. Zone hasn't released anything good in decades and scores not the goodwill of his early age flashes. Yeah, makes sense. Shad drew little kids, there's no coming back. It's worse than that, it was little kids based on actual little kids. Like, for years he could get away with a lot of his stuff, because, like, well, it's all fiction, you know, it's all just stuff in my head, you know, it's not real. And he could coast off that, because it's like, yeah, it's all fiction, it's not real. But then he started doing it of, like, actual people, like Daphne Keane, the actress that played X-23, who at the time, when he drew her, was really young, she was 10 years old, or so. And then he did of Keemstar's daughter, purely to fuck with Keemstar. And it's like, listen, that's... You are crossing lines that cannot be defended no matter what position. You know, I understand the whole, like, oh, if I don't defend your speech, how can I defend my own? It's like, no, motherfucker, you dug your own grave. It's like trying to stand up with the bro that keeps trying to pick a fight with the mafia guy at the end of the bar. Why would you get yourself involved in that? Whereas far as everyone supported him at the time. Yeah. He was ultra popular. A lot of people support him. It's why when, like, there used to be a gotcha where people go like, oh, well, you follow Shadman. It's like, yeah, everyone does. It's like, yeah, and? But now it is a case of, like, yeah, he's one of those. He's one of those, he really set himself up for failure. Didn't Shad get into trouble with the Hillary Clinton campaign? Yeah, that was a case of, like, he didn't do anything wrong because he did, like, a lolly art thing of Hillary Clinton. It's like, that's a woman in her fucking 70s. She's a public figure. How many fucking, like, you know, obscene pictures of Donald Trump came out, you know? Who gives a fuck about that? It was when he crossed over into, no, I'm going to do it about X-23 and fucking Keemstar's daughter. Wasn't X-23 an underage prostitute in the comic? Not that this is relevant. I don't remember, and it's not the point, because it was about Daphne Keane. You know, the girl from the movie who played X-23, where that was what she was based on. So at that point, you are basing it off an actual kid. You know? Chad man had a lot of based opinions and advice, and he fucked up and ruined it all. He became a fucking druggie. Burned his fucking brains out, and he forgot how reality worked. The only please, the less said about Hillary's figure, the better. I say it's like, that is a 70-year-old woman. When's the first time he did it, like the reason he left Sweden was because he was drawing pornographic images of actual children. Yeah, see, at that point, it's like, when you take that into account, it's like, no, I'm not going to defend that guy. Fuck you. That's shit that gets a lot of other people completely buried for life, so why should he be the exception? Remember that spat of Donald Trump x Hillary Clinton debate pornos that flooded the net during 2016? I want to forget. I'm to that Jay Lullaby guy Shad partnered with. I have no idea. I'm kind of glad CD Projekt Red ain't evil, but I have feelings I'm going to eat my words, aren't I? Every company becomes evil eventually. It's just a matter of when. Thoughts on G Gundam. It's not bad. It's not my favorite, but it's not bad. Are you fucking serious? Heroin? Yeah, he became a junkie. Like, you don't remember that? Like, he full-blown became a junkie. Review Sandy not included. Holy shit, that's a fucking blast from the past. Like, I remember when I was in middle school, I had a friend who was really into Sandy not included, and he would always scream, "Religion!" Would Suno become evil? He is the most evil. Remember all the Trump 2016 videos back then? Most of them lost time in censorship. Sad. Yeah. Sandy not included was my shit as a teenager. Yeah. I always remember Spaz Kid screaming his head off. Because how can you forget... how could you ever forget Spaz Kid screaming his head off? How did he get addicted? I have no idea. All I know is he started posting pictures of him with, like, burnt spoons in a trashy apartment. It's like, yeah, he's a fucking drunk. He's a fucking druggie. Didn't he get into a fight and nearly kill someone? Yeah, he got arrested for, assault with a deadly weapon, if I remember right. Screaming is funny! Yeah. And I remember that they would really push the, like... They would have skits where it gives you two options. You had to click on one, and then you would see a video where it's that one option play out. And you would click on the other, and that option would play out. And now, because YouTube dropped that feature, a lot of those skits are fucking broken, and they don't work anymore. Spaz Kid is a true artist. Remember G4? I sure wish I didn't. Yeah. Guy who draws CP is a weirdo and a druggie. Never shocked me in retrospect. Yeah, there you go. Wasn't Shad in contact with a few minors at the time, or was that rumors? I know he would have, like, a really creepy circle in his Discord where they would refer to, like, really young celebrities as, like, real lollies. It got to the point of, like, people are going, listen, this is more than just shit posting. This is, like, actual red flag shit. Whatever happened to Ego Raptor? He sold the fuck out. He got really defensive about his fucking shitpost visual novel, where it's like the Dream Daddy, where it's just, what if visual novel, but all gay dads? It's like, yeah, I don't like irony novels. Isn't Spaz Kid the guy who watched Kick-Ass like 30 times? Don't know if you have experience with Kickstarter, but do you know how long it takes them to verify your information? I have no idea. I never used Kickstarter. Imagine if someone came in here heard, didn't Shad touch kids and think it's Shadversity? No, all Shadversity did was write a book with AI, and then, like, people yelled at him for it, and it started a whole spat where they're like, how dare you use AI? And he's like, well, how dare you yell at me for using AI? Saying Dan get really annoyed at Aaron in the Ocarina of Time playthrough was hilarious. Eco for $1. Even during the pre-woke days, never liked any of these gaming sites. Always thought they were corporatized cringe from the beginning. Fair enough. And you're not wrong. That's kind of exactly what they were. Didn't Ego Raptor let his wife run the company through him and then sold out when she started getting too bitchy? Oof. All the big YouTubers are playing it. Yeah, like I said, it was a dumbass irony one. It's like the pigeon dating simulator, where it's like, you know, visual novels are an actual genre, right? And they have more stories than just, you know, what if high school dating sim. Wait, Chad Versity wrote his book with AI? I thought that was a thing where, like, he wrote chunks of a book with AI, and he was, like, really excited about AI, and then people went, like, hey, that's the lazy man option, and it started, like, a whole spat where he would go back and forth with people on that. My position on, like, using AI to, like, write stuff is, it's good for ideas, you know, it's good for, like, hey, here's an idea I have in my mind. I want to see it play out through this AI just to kind of like, is it going to play out the way I think it does when I actually put it out there? And then if it's not, you go back and then change it, or you know, you use it as like first draft stuff. You don't use it for like an actual, I'm going to write a book completely through AI. It's like, no, that to me seems like it's defeating the purpose. It's like, why would you go to like a creative endeavor like writing a book and then not want to write the book? At least with people who like do AI generated images, they are not artists and they just want to see something that's in their head. But like if you're going as far as to write a book, you're already telling everyone you're a writer. So it's like, I don't know, it to me it seems self-defeating. Didn't he only use it for art because he didn't want to pay an artist for sword art? I don't know, it's possible. That's one of those cases where I'm like, I understand that, where it's like, yeah, he doesn't want to pay an artist and he can't draw himself. It's like, yeah, that's fine. I am on the middle road centrism angle on the AI issue, which is it's about as good as whatever it's used for. If you're using it for strict plagiarism, you're a fucking dick. If you're using it to be lazy, you're a fucking dick. But if you're using it just to kind of like enhance ideas you already have and then refine, and then, you know, you use it for the intended purpose of just getting an idea in your head out there so you can kind of understand what you're doing, I'm fine with that. And a lot of people also use it just for straight up porn and they don't want anyone to know, which at that point, that's between you and God. Gonna tune some of these crystals real quick because we'll need them for later. Seems like a funny tool for shitposts. Some people like that, yeah. Sucks to watch a YouTuber then finding out or eventually revealing themselves to be a bad person. On record being an example, dude's an absolute fucking lunatic. And it does make you wonder, it's like, were they always this bad, or was it something that just got to their head? I'm unashamed to say that in my book trailer I used public domain medieval paintings and some AI art. I can't draw, need to find an illustrator for the cover art. I have planned, AI can't handle it. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's fine, you know, for like placeholder stuff, or, you know, what do you want me to do? I can't fucking draw. It's like, yeah. Yeah, nobody gives a shit when some celebrity plays a ghostwriter. I think 50 Cent wrote a whole novel. That is true. It's like, yeah. Like, you know, ghostwriters have been a thing for God knows how long. I don't like writers being replaced with AI. It annoys me to see other YouTubers I watch support using AI just because Marvel movies bad. Yeah. Like I said, something where it's like there can be a middle ground, but nobody's gonna want to do the middle ground. They're gonna go for one extreme or the other. Either ban it completely, or we use everything through AI, and there's never gonna be actual creativity and expression again. Oh my god. I fucked up. I did not realize how out of level I was. I thought they'd be like level 15 or so. No, that was level 46. I don't think Shadowversity used AI for his book, but he defended AI art. I thought he like directly used AI for his novel, and that's why people wrote his ass. AI comics section. Oh wait, that's already here. Bjorn for $10. Here's a beer. Hope you and Shota are well. Yeah. Good stuff. It was for art, I think. Okay. Yeah, he was using AI art for the covers and stuff. People had a problem with that because he was lazy. Okay, yeah. Like I said, for covers, I'm okay with. Purely because it's like, listen, not everybody's an artist, and... Alright, yeah, that's not everybody's an artist, and some people legitimately might be like, well, I think it's cool, you know? The meat of what they're doing is not the cover, it's the book itself, so... I can understand it. You have a favorite chicken place? When in doubt, homemade chicken's always the best. It just tastes good. But if you're not allowed to have that option, Sam's Club has some really good rotisserie chickens. I used to buy those all the time when I worked there. Remember, I'm reminded of the AI Rock Paper Scissors anime video. People were complaining that they used Vampire Hunter D art for the AI reference, even though the end product looked nothing like that movie. Yeah. As stated, there is kind of an extremism angle to it, where like artists have, like, if you pay attention to it, fucking artists on Twitter are like gunning after each other like fucking crazy, you know, fucking crazy, accusing each other of using AI art, and like they'll like have red circles on areas they think are like, well, see, you didn't draw this right, that had to be an AI, that doesn't look right at all. Like they're gunning after each other, and it's actually to the point of like, dude, you're getting a little too crazy. I don't think AI will ever truly replace art. I don't think so either. I think it'll be pushed as the trend, and then it'll kind of go quiet, and then it will have its little circle. AI art has become the new tracing. Yeah, they'll always accuse each other of using AI or tracing. It's like, art people are crazy. Artists really started spurting out like mad after the whole AI fiasco. They really did. I think they're fighting over whether a tool should be allowed. Yeah. Yeah, see? Technically you do get a home. I don't need to put money into it. I'll have new anxiety artists are having about drawing hands because now. Yeah. Not gonna lie, AI for writing kind of sucks, but it's great for filling in blanks and for writing decent stuff after some editing. Yeah, like I said, it's good for getting ideas down, and maybe it comes up with like a certain phrase you wouldn't think of, and it's like, oh well, you know, maybe I can break that down, I can restructure it. So like I said, it's not completely verboten. It's just one of those of, yeah, don't rely on it. AI will most likely fall to porn once all the hype blows over. Yeah, it's kind of where it's already going anyway. Okay. So, accepted the new main quest. Now we can go accept the new job quest. That one's just telling you about like different, you know, specific stuff you can do. And yeah, you can see all the different people playing here. Like, there's an edgy vampire. I think that's a dude. I think that's a... No, it's a chick. Okay. Some lady ran past there. Artists are desperate trying to gatekeep their profession. They were already very competitive over the commissions, now the whole field being blown wide open. That is true. Goes to Miura, becomes a very pissed off AI. Yeah. Miura's one of those, he would never use an AI, because he had to look at every single pixel himself. He was, like, infamous with that shit. AI is like an assist tool for beginners or speedballing. Yeah. I'm a 3D animation artist, and I've been on the receiving end of other artists giving me hell and gaslighting me because I use it for my 3D workflow. Like, character animation is ridiculous. Yeah. You know, it's one of those things where you'll never find somebody more stupid than a Twitter user so convinced they're right. Okay. So we have a new quest. This one will give us new pants, so we'll not use the new pants. Not only is AI to make a virtual girlfriend feel the void inside being induced with something, even if it's fake. Yeah. Traditional artist animator myself, I've already embraced for other shit like lighting and rigging, adaptive bits that work. Yeah, Photoshop had a bunch of AI algorithms that would affect things like lighting and things like that when people would like make edits. Like it is a thing where it was a lot more common than people want to admit. It's just now it's dipping into, well, no, that's my bread and butter you're affecting now. It's like, yeah, dude, you had to accept it. How long until Hiroya Oka puts out brand new manga for one of his fetishes, illustrated exclusively using an AI he trained? He posts a lot about AI. He actually is like very interested in it. So you joke, but that might actually happen. I have to get into modeling then. AI can't take that yet. Oh. Says chat disconnected, so give it a little bit. Upside, it seems like the stream is running fine. It's just a little bit of hiccups here and there. So, let me... Doop. There we go. Your volume is low. Yeah, I looked away for a sec. Speaking of which, let's actually... Because we'll be getting into some fights. So, play guide, active help, system configuration. There we go. Audio. Let's turn down things a little bit. There we go. Crank it up a little bit more. There we go. So now it's more about my voice, you know. The thing nobody's here for, but everyone insists on. Don't tell Twitter that all Adobe software uses AI, they'll flip their shit. Yeah, seriously. It's like I understand the fear because there are absolutely people who are going to cheap out and be lazy. You know, there's already like dedicated porn accounts online that are just using AI to make like a naked woman, and they're charging people Patreon bucks for it. It's absolutely going to be a thing where it can go out of control. But at the same time, there's too much paranoia about it. And when you start accusing everybody else of like, well, you used AI for this, you used AI for that, it's like, they don't understand that the more obnoxious they get about the issue, the more people are going to choose AI just out of spite. I'm here for Bunny Girl and Lolly. Wait, don't screenshot that! Imagine Lolly fumbling each time someone shows interest in you. Alright. So we gotta get over this cliff face when we start fighting things for our job quest. Did you learn to parry in FF16 yet? I have no idea how parry works. I just smack at the same time as enemy, and sometimes it works. If not that, dodge. AI has been around a lot longer than some people want to admit, but Twitter only cares now because it's affecting them. Pretty much. You know, it's a thing where, like, AI was never the problem. It's the fact that it's getting in the way of online artist jobs. That's what they care about. It's why none of them take it seriously when people mention things like, hey, you should probably care about online censorship because eventually it'll affect you. And then eventually websites start cracking down on porn. A lot of the artists on Twitter are like, no, fuck you, you're just gross, you're just a pervert, shit like that. They'll start crying and being like, oh, well, I didn't, you know, why is this getting so hard for me now? It's like, you never listen. You never listen when people fucking tell you this shit's gonna happen. Damn ants. Was Stranger Paradise any good, or were people only liking it ironically? Gameplay was genuinely fun. Like, gameplay was fun, it was just the story that was, like, kind of, eh. The artists panic over AI is just another example of everyone becomes deeply conservative about the things they specifically care about. Pretty much. Where it's like, all of a sudden, now you have to worry about, you know, people's future job prospects. Can I pee with you? No. Kill the toad. Jack Garland was too based. And then there was no one to speak up for me in this. Yeah. Pretty much, basically. It's like people will tell them, it's like, hey, advocating for this is a bad idea because eventually it'll fuck you over. And they don't listen, and then it fucks them over, and then they cry about it. Artists for AI learn to code, artists after AI. Really? It wasn't even like all artists, you know, not all artists are bad. It's just, you can get some real horror stories with some of them where they'll ghost you for like a year straight, and then you talk to them and it's like, hey, you know, are you working on that thing I told you? And they're like, oh, no, sorry, I had a really busy year. And it's like, motherfucker, I paid you up front. Like, that can happen. It doesn't always happen, but it can. Frogs and toads are cool. They get rid of gnats and flies, but we need them for quests. Yeah, being used for stock exchange to be smartest and dumbest thing. Yeah. Because it's all about, you know, pumping numbers into a machine. Eventually we'll figure something out. It's real hard to feel any empathy for online commission artists. Like I said, there are some that are genuinely professional and they know what they're doing. They have big followings and people like them a lot. It's just the fact that there's an equal number that are massive fucking egotistical spurgs that don't understand that, like, listen, you gotta treat people some fucking modicum of respect. Oh god. Okay, now piss the toads off. Rip and tear the amphibians. Get out of my way. I broke combo. Oh god, I don't want to get eaten by a frog. Oh, there we go, it's dead. Can I watch you go potty, Elmo? What the fuck is wrong with you? We might have to find another frog. We're going to have to find another frog. Oh god, Roberta's being BBM'd. There's two types of internet artists. One who's professional and probably started recently, and the other who started in high school. Oh yeah. There is a phenomenon of getting too famous too quick and too young. Where it's like, yeah, I think that's another reason why you have so many obnoxious asshole accounts on social media, where it's kids who are convinced they can win the social media game, and they don't really understand that, like, you know, old school internet was not made up of Christian trolls. They were there, but a lot of it was also people who were chill and just wanted to talk about shit. So for the love of fucking God, stop acting like you're a fucking celebrity. If AI takes over the stock exchange, will they even count as natural market anymore? Who knows? Probably a case of, well, if it's winning, it's okay. Start teaching myself how to draw so I don't deal with artists. That's, yeah, that's smart. Sure. Okay. Die. My problem with artists is I make better product now and draw them for over 10 years. Like I said, there's some that are genuinely really talented, and they can come up with, like, you know, fun webcomics or fun little pictures and stuff like that. You know, everyone follows titty artists, even if they, you know, swear to God they don't. It's like, yeah, I understand why they exist, and they absolutely have a following in an ecosystem. It's just the fact of when it can go wrong, it can go really wrong. Quit attacking me. I'm gonna sit my butt down, draw more. I have a 4-on-4 off schedule. I just draw as a hobby, to be honest. That's yeah, that's smart. I follow tastefully lewd artists. That's a good way to put it. Very good way to put it. Okay. Here's your toad legs, old man. I just think people need to get out more. Yeah. For the love of God, don't tattoo yourself, you bunch. You look like ghetto clowns. I'm gonna open my mini pack of Doritos. Moving the mic away so you don't hear me eat. Alright. You're on their land, brown man. We need to start encouraging bullying again. Alright, so now we gotta fight smugglers. AI and music is terrifying. I never knew just how badly I need Mr. Krabs singing IRA anthems or Frank Sinatra covering Gangsta Paradise. Yeah, that is something. Voice AI is getting to the point of being scary. Like people have referenced the Saul Goodman AI, the one I trained up for fucking videos and shit. And they're legit like, man, who'd you get to do the Saul Goodman impersonation? It's like, it's an AI. Like, that's getting to the point of scary. Thoughts on Null sobering what happened on the Titan? I got like no ill will to the people who died or anything. You know, I'm not gonna be like, oh well, good, they're dead. It's like, I mean, I didn't know them. I didn't know what they did. I don't know what they donated to or if they were trying to help anybody. I'm more just view it as like a, I view it as like a, what is it gonna do? Kill me, man who was killed type deal, where it's like, well, no shit, you should have expected that was gonna happen. You cut like every corner possible and tried to go down to deep water with like a fucking tinfoil sub. Squidward singing soul phrase is scary. Now, look up Plankton singing Toxicity. That's the one that was scary. We're like, that's exact. Chris AI screaming is scary and weird. Yeah. Are you familiar with the YouTuber Urich Salad Bar? He likes to compare David Cage games to Disco Elysium. I wouldn't go that far. I mean, Jesus, I like Disco. Null and Viper Wave are becoming similar to each other in takes. Well, you know, Null just kind of wants to watch the world burn. He's just tired. He's tired, wants to water his cactus. Does he still have the cactus, or does he have other plants? Crab singing Billie Jean was too insane. Yeah, I saw that too. They also have him do Rap God. And yeah, he sounds disturbingly like Eminem. Now there's an evil midget. Like that Austrian painter guy. He's a pretty good singer. Do you think he'll cover my book cover? Illustrate my book cover? That's on Skullgirls Fiasco. I already talked about it, and it's like, if all you took away from the situation is, well, you know, why are you upset you don't get to look at panties? You're the reason the industry's falling apart the way it is. No, killed most of his garden by accident while traveling. Oh. So I want a Pippa doing MF Doom. See, that's scary. It's like, you know, characters like SpongeBob or something like that, you know, you at least have that separation, but having them be like actual streamers and stuff like that, that's unsettling. That's where you get into shit where it's like, man, that is starting to feel the weight of how creepy this can get. Those no healers. I want to see her. I want to hear insert character here sing Rapocalypse. That'd be a big project. There are a lot of verses to that. Ugh. Perfect blue moment. Yeah, a little bit. Your thoughts on modern Fallout 76? I've never played it. I never played it. I don't really want to play it. Like, nothing about it screamed interesting to me. I mean, they had to advertise that they brought in NPCs. Probably not a good sign. First time in years since we go back on Schoolgirls. Yeah. Like, there were people on Twitter going like, oh, well, you know, you fell for it. You know, this was all a marketing gimmick, and now we're talking about the game. It's like, yeah, but no one's talking about it in a good way. They're talking about, you know, why the fuck would you ever support this game kind of way? You know, now people think like, well, why would I ever buy a game from a company that can go back and edit content years after it fucking released? Like, yeah, I didn't really think that one through. Not all publicity is good publicity. Back here. I have too much ass to kick. Andrew Barry getting clapped. Eric Salabar says stuff that works in disco but not in cage games, but also say the game is in favor of communism. Well, Disco Elysium, if you play the commie route, it will have sympathies towards it because it was made by a bunch of Estonian communists. It's just the fact that it was also smart enough to be like, here's also what can happen if it goes wrong and becomes a fucking nightmare. And personally, I think it like unintentionally makes communism look so hilariously worse. Like, if we want to talk about my subtext and my curtains mean depression shit, when you meet the actual killer at the end of the game, the sniper, he is an old man who is alone and miserable. He never got over his hate. He never got over the fact he was a coward and ran away from war and drowned himself in ideology to distract himself from the fact that he gave up on other people. And he has an especially big resentment towards the fascist. The old royalist man that you can meet and talk to who's buddies with the old man, and they were both in love with the same woman. Who was a royalist, who was a fascist, who was everything the sniper hates, has a life. He's with other people. He can actually talk to somebody. He has friends. He has regrets in his life, but he also has good memories. And the sniper hates him. He dreams about shooting him every single day, and I kind of saw that as like, you know, how is that not like an extreme condemnation to this mindset, you know? You give everything to this ideology and you drown yourself in isolation and hatred for something that was, on paper, supposed to be about bringing people together and uniting everyone, and it turned this guy into like a shell. Like a broken shell. My connection's really bad right now. I have to watch the VOD later. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah. It's okay, Hamon. You'll be okay. Thank God he's still streaming on YouTube. I'm worried when he said he created a Twitch account. No, like I said, I'll jump back and forth between them, and if I stream on Twitch, I'll try to move it over to YouTube. I think the dev wanted to shoot people too. Yeah, and that's what I mean, where it's like an unintentional condemnation, where it's like, you know, as an outsider who doesn't buy into commie shit and doesn't just blindly take every political thing at face value, I look at that and I don't see like, oh, this is the communist still fighting the fight, and he still believes. Like, no, I see a broken, failed old man who ruined his life for nothing. For a war he didn't even fucking win and pussed out of. I'm not sure if you heard, but the Booty Warrior Fleece, he's out there married and has a kid. Yep. But I get the feeling he's not done yet. He rides once more. We gotta go back to Pugilist Guild, okay. We gotta go all the way over there to finish that one. So we will go to Udal first, turn in the Pugilist, and then we'll... The problem is humans aren't capable of utopia. You just build mountains of bodies with utopian thinking like common kids do. And that's exactly what happens in Disco. They try to do a thing of like, oh, it was the world turning against it was the world turning against us that caused it to collapse, and, you know, it wasn't our fault. And you look around and like everyone's a liar, everyone's a failure, everyone is like, you know, they have these vastly different personalities and ideals that just are not capable of working together. And once again, you see the sniper and he is this bitter, broken old man, and it's like, you know, dude, you know, it's like, you keep trying to sell me on like, no, but it means well, it means well. It's like, so? Look at the damage this one asshole has done. You know, he's all about like, oh, I'm fighting for the commune and for everybody, and his actions directly led to a bunch of people getting shot. If you fuck up and let the Hardy Boys die, you know, that's what I go with. You know, my playthrough, Hardy Boys always die, because fuck the Hardy Boys, they made the situation a million times fucking worse. Like their whole like, oh well, you know, we're just trying to protect Revachol. It's like, no, you fucked everything up and you pissed off the Death Squad. Here we go. The bookstore girl is innocent. Bookstore girl did nothing wrong. Can you solo stream Disco? It'd be fun. Road to Hell is often paid with good intentions. The sniper wasn't even about good intentions. He was jealous. He was in love with the one lady, and he had to watch every single night as she was in love with what he despised. You know, he despised the mercenary and saw him as like a tool for the fascists and all that, and he had to watch her getting fucked by him every night, and he resented it, and he wanted to punish her, which once again leads into oh, he's supposed to be the good and well-meaning guy, and he's the tragic figure, and he's literally talking about punishing a woman he never even met. It's like, there's a lot of subtext to that game where you look into it, and it's like, no, commies are just fucking evil. It's like, commies are just fucking evil, and they're hypocrites, and they don't know what they're talking about. So he's a cuck. Literally a cuck. He fell in love with a woman that he never even met, would watch her through the sniper scope every single day. She fell in love with a mercenary that was working with the corporation that he hates, and then he would watch her get fucked by him. Like I said, there's a lot more to Disco Elysium than a commie game. It actually paints commies as pretty fucking bad. Especially if you know how to interpret things right. Because the game's all about interpretation. As much as someone might go, no, that's not how the game's supposed to be. Game's open to interpretation. It's open to interpretation, and elements are there to be explored. That's why you can do multiple builds that have different versions of Harry. You can do Remote Viewers Division and play a psychic cop. You can play an artist trying to make your masterpiece. There's a lot you can do. So the idea of there's one strict interpretation of what's going on, that's bullshit. Game's all about reading comprehension, yeah. Every single night the sniper saw the missing A-Rail's love every night. Every single night he fapped in the corners of fascist loving family. It wasn't even a loving family. It was the mercenary was a piece of shit. It's the fact that the sniper didn't kill him for anything other than petty resentment. It wasn't because he like hurt people or was a murderer or wronged him personally in some way. It was because he was fucking a chick he liked. Like, that's literally what it comes down to. That's what I like Disco Elysium as. I like it as a story of people, and when you judge their actions as people, you understand how much of the ideology stuff is so fucking hollow. Like, it's so hollow, and it's just, no, I swear I'm not a bad person, I'm not a bad person. It's like, yeah, you kind of are. That one interpretation opinion of DE is pure coke. How did you discover Berserk and what drove you to stick through it all these years? I actually knew about Berserk because I knew a guy in high school that kept trying to talk me into it, and I would like passively be like, I'll check it out eventually, because that was before I got really into anime, and I was like, I don't really like the weird stuff. And he's like, no, I swear to God, it's good. But he would always recommend like weird shit, like ecchi shit. And it's like, I don't know, I'm not really into that. And then eventually, like years later, I talked to my brother, and he's like, hey, have you ever heard of Berserk? It's like, oh yeah, Berserk's fucking metal. So I just pirated like a bunch of the volumes, and I read through them, and I thought it was fucking amazing. I stopped playing Disco because I couldn't punch the Kuno. My luck is bad. It's like, just at that point, you must have neglected your physical like completely, because that's one of the basic physical checks. Well, the mercenary is not a piece of shit. He was a Chad in the NPR of the communists. I mean, they did establish he was like a rapist. He was a murderer. He was not a good dude. It was the fact of the sniper did not kill him for good reasons. I learned about Berserk from Matt from Super Best Friends. Go to any workplace, even when the people are meant to work together for the same goal. Someone's always backdooring someone else, doing favors for another, dumping work onto another guy. Well, that's exactly what the fucking Hardy Boys and the Union leader represent. The Hardy Boys are the true believers. They think they're protecting Revachol, and all they've done is make it worse. Where they've trafficked drugs into the community, and they turned Kuno, who is like a kid not even 15 years old, into a fucking junkie. And it's like, how are you protecting your fucking community if you're doing shit like this? And the Union leader is so hilariously corrupt that he's a fucking... It's a literal meme how on the nose he is at being corrupt. And the hilarious part is you'll run some people where it's like, oh no, but he's like trying to build like a mall. He's trying to do this. He's trying to revitalize community. It's like, he's taking the money and fucking pocketing it. It's a basic real estate scam. Like, the fuck are you talking about? It's like, he's so hilariously corrupt. Can I play Disco as a neutral detective and have the game don't shit on me? It shits on you no matter what route you do, because that's kind of the joke. If you pick too many centrist options, it'll make fun of you for being the ultimate centrist where you don't have opinions because opinions are too radical. It's like, just understand that it makes fun of everything, so it's not directly making fun of... It's not trying to be like, oh, well, you know, you're wrong for not believing what I believe. It's just, you know, how it is. It's dark humor. we go. Get some extra jewels, because we need to replace the ones we got. They're level 1 shit. Kunoe says kill kids and nobody cares. Yeah, it's heavily implied she did. I tend to judge ideologies based on the people who claim to follow. Well, that's the thing. The ideologies are represented by the people, and the people... Yeah. The people are some of the worst you can meet. So every single person is in some way pretty bad. The one who is ironically the most upfront with you and is like, I just want this resolved, is the fucking corporate chick. The corporate chick who straight up says, yes, we tried to negotiate, but for some reason they are refusing to listen to our demands. They want every single employee to be a member of the board, which is impossible, and ironically enough, fucks over people in other districts who don't live in Revachol, who now suddenly have to be at the mercy of a city they don't fucking live in. Where it's like, how is that fair to them? You know? It goes over the fact of, like, there's a lot of romanticization of like, socialism and communism, and I feel there is someone there, you know, someone at that studio who was like, hey, I'm not really on board with the commie shit, and you're all a bunch of fucking hypocrites. Because famously, there is that documentary that just came out talking about the allegations of the studio being stolen from the developers. And they made it clear that a lot of the company was actually backstabbing each other and taking credit for each other's work. So, as much as they go the whole, like, oh, my communism, we're all in this together, you know, my solidarity, like, there are guys going like, oh, yeah, no, I wrote the game single-handedly, like, 50% of it's all me. And there's other guys going, that's fucking bullshit, because I wrote this character, and I wrote this, and I wrote this, why the fuck are you lying about this? Like, you know, it's funny, it's hilarious. And when called on it, a lot of them would default to, well, that's just how capitalism is. It's like, aren't you supposed to, like, buck against that? Aren't you supposed to, like, rebel against that? Because you're like, no, but I don't like capitalism, I'm an avowed Marxist. Like, fuck off. The one with the big boat, she was nice. Yeah, she is the most upfront. Even when she leaves at the end, because she leaves right before the final confrontation with the Hardy Boys. And that's supposed to be the, oh, she fucked you over. It's like, it didn't even feel like that. It's like, yeah, she straight up told you she was gonna leave before things went tits up. It was like, every single thing you can look at in the game as like a negative action directly happened because of the Hardy Boys and because of the socialists. They tried to cover up the murder, which was caused by a communist, which pissed off the PMC group that worked in the city, because they didn't realize that the guy who died was the brother of one of the more violent ones, and because of that, the violent one pushed for them all to die. So if they were just up front and was like, we don't know what the fuck happened, he was shot, and they could have proved it came from long range, because out of nowhere he's sleeping with his girlfriend and the back of his head's blown off with a rifle bullet. Like, there was so much the Hardy Boys did and that fucked everything up, and they were insistent that they were protecting the city, and they just weren't. It's why I have no sympathy when they die. It's like, you made things worse. Alright, so that might not have been, let's see. So yeah, we have to, okay. So that was a waste of time, because the shit gets better. Commies don't want to share. Ironic. Yeah, right? That's funny how commies never actually want to live in actual commie countries. Yeah, there were a bunch of, like, Estonians that were, like, anarchists and communists, and then they moved over to fucking England. There's two types, centrist, the one that is afraid of opinions of people, and the one that knows both sides can be dumb and don't commit to any. Well, the way I always play Disco Elysium, it's the way I play a lot of, like, you know, I have specific opinions on, like, cop shows and cop media. If I ever play a cop in a game or something like that, and that is, why the fuck do I care about the ideology or anything like this? You committed a crime, you did something wrong, you need to be punished. That is how I tackle it, and that's how I tackle Disco Elysium. Who gives a fuck about the ideology and, like, the, well, this company's evil and they're doing this? It's like, but at the end of the day, you still committed murder. You still did something wrong. Who are the Hardy Boys? They show up day 2, and they very clearly are the gang that covered up the murder. They try to paint themselves as the ones who did commit the murder, but they are lying to protect another person. Because of this, they end up pissing off the PMC group that is in Revachol, and cause so much more damage that it's not even funny. It's to the point where they are, like, I don't see how anyone can look at them and not go, you people are fucking stupid. Like, the fact Harry didn't have a... The fact they didn't give Harry a choice to be like, you people are fucking stupid and you have ruined this city. Because they literally propagate a drug operation to fund their strike, where it's like, we're not going to work till we're all members of the board, you know, that kind of shit. They become a drug cartel, and because of that, children in the city become junkies, and it's torn to pieces. Now, Revachol wasn't great, but what they did was make it substantially worse, and they pretend they're the good guys. Motive is an important part of any criminal trial. It's important, but like I said, it's the fact of you as a cop are not supposed to let your own personal motive get in the way. You're supposed to judge it objectively and go, no, fuck you, you broke the law, you did something wrong. And not in the you jaywalk thing. It's like, no, you're a fucking murderer and you're a fucking hypocrite. If you're making a Twitch channel, it would be fun if you play games like Disco Elysium and follow New Vegas from start to finish. That would be fun. Not today, Satan. Disco is essentially a Far Cry 4 conundrum. It is, but you actually get to have your best ending, where like you get to let the people you feel deserve it die. Because that's how I feel. The one chick who has the pail machine, I'm not really like certain she deserves to die. She was involved with the Hardy Boys, but she is a case of like she might have legit gotten manipulated into it. But you know, it's one of those of like, listen, are you seriously going to allow police work to be, you know, completely taken over by ideology, which is a common complaint people have about actual police work in real life. That's too corrupt and doesn't focus on just punishing the wrong. Daniel Penny shit is unbelievable. Guy defends himself and others. How's trial gonna be on me? It's all about, you know, my optics and my, you know, my New York shit. Would you make a VOD channel for Twitch streams? Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea. Good excuse to use the Couch Potato channel one. Or make a playlist here. I think that would busy it up a lot. You know, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Did you actually believe Harry was a corrupt peon? She didn't know what to believe. Because she only knew about what she heard from Harry, and that was up in the air because, you know, he had his mental problems. And the fact that, like, she couldn't really trust the cops in general because the cops are shaky. So no kill all run then. That's what I try to do. I try to act like an actual cop. If Harry fucks up and screws up and someone dies or they get away, I leave it because like, hey, Harry's a fuck up. But anything that's like, no, I'm not going to be a corrupt asshole because that's not what I want to be. I want to be actual like law and order cop. Plus, it kind of like trips the fuck out of Kim, and I love the dialogue scenes where he's like genuinely shocked that you're able to manipulate somebody. Okay. Oh, that's funny. You put on headgear, but like it doesn't work because you have rabbit ears. What's this game I want to play? Disco Elysium. It's genuinely great, and even if you don't like the politics of the developers, don't worry, because they got thrown out by a fucking hostile takeover that is still being debated to this day as to what actually happened. They criticized Platoon for being commie propaganda on the war crimes, so I thought it was kind of funny because I thought they were in the right for beating some people in Nam. Well, it's not so much commie propaganda as it very clearly aims for emotional manipulation and tends to over-exaggerate a lot of details. Like, the story of soldiers raping people in Vietnam was nowhere near as common as people would have you believe. In fact, a lot of that was actually performed by the NVA. The NVA committed a shitload of war crimes. America does not go into regions intending to commit brutality on the scale that they do, because there's no reason to. Why would you intimidate? Now, there's always going to be outlying factors. There's always going to be guys who are fucking crazy who are in situations where they're allowed to do crazy shit. But the idea that it was standardized to the way the movie would have you believe, no. It's emotional manipulation. It's Hollywood. A lot of people really like Platoon. They call it one of the greatest films ever made. But I'm one of those of like, for a war movie to be the best, you need to have that balance between what would actually happen and, you know, exaggeration for the sake of drama. And to me, Platoon dips a little too hard in times of basically choosing to exaggerate and be preachy more than anything else. And if I want to watch something that's explicitly not trying to be real, I'll just watch Apocalypse Now. The only correct choices are the ones that make Kim happy. Kim is cool. Kim is genuinely a good character. Most soldiers were white, and while Asian girls have a preference. I wish I could play this on PlayStation. For some reason, I couldn't play after playing the old beta for some reason. All I got, the call for help was more or less, gee, that sucks. Yeah. Getting your account unlinked, yeah, that's a fucking nightmare. Okay. Yeah, Full Metal Jacket's better. That's what I like more. Let's not forget the guys in Oliver Stone's platoon says most of the shit in the film was horror shit. That's what I heard too. He exaggerated a lot. And like I said, it was like, you look at it and you go, that's not really what would happen. And guys like freaking out and running away. You know, the dude's talking to his sergeant and is like, hey, we need to kind of like scrunch up all of our fire points, otherwise the enemy will just run straight in. He's like, I don't give a fuck anymore. It's like, so you're just gonna let yourself die. Okay. So yeah, it gets a little too preachy. It's not bad, but it gets a little too preachy. My lie was a massive outlier. Pretend that was the norm. Yeah, my lie was directly a case of like, no, that was people committing murder. But that was a situation where a lot of the guys that were charged were seen as pieces of shit, and they've directly ruined the reputation of that war and everything around it. Okay, we'll go back to Thanlights. I want to see if there's a new quest we can do. Gatorade or Powerade? Depends on the mood. Like, I just got done drinking a Gatorade. Okay. Speaking of fact, I'm going to munch on another Dorito real quick. So you need to be level 20 for the next Pugilist quest. Okay, and Central Thanalan for... When we get our mount, it's going to be so much easier. Now, the only thing I know about Final Fantasy XIV is apparently has a lot of hentai about it. Oh, there's a ton. Of every fetish you can imagine. Gatorade tastes better. Like I said, it depends on the mood. Sometimes I kind of like how Powerade tastes. But in Watchmen, the comedian raped a girl in Vietnam, so Alan Moore is right. Yeah, I mean, it's a thing where, once again, they kind of try to normalize things that the Viet Cong did and say America did it all the time. And it's funny because Viet Cong deny any war crimes whatsoever. Like, if you ever watch Deer Hunter, where they force the guys to play Russian roulette, oh, the Vietnamese came out and said, that's not real, that never fucking happened, we treated our POWs with respect. And a bunch of American POWs came out and said, they treated us like fucking animals. What do you think of the movie Taxi Driver? Oh, one of the greatest of all time. I love it. It's everyone like memes it now because it's a literally me movie, but it's actually unironically fantastic. I mean, it's just Martin Scorsese's one of his best ones. Mage of Void for $1. Now that you're really far in Xenoblade 1, what do you think of the Monado as a weapon and symbol to the characters in world at large? I really like the Monado. I like a lot of what it does. I love the time travel stuff and being able to like affect the future in small ways. You know, gameplay wise, it means like you can like predict enemy movements and stop them before they can fuck up your party members. You can also like find items for quests, and you'll see a vision where it'll tell you you'll need that later, so you won't sell it by accident. It's really cool. It's genuinely a fantastic weapon. And it feels powerful. You know, that's another plus side to it. It feels like you never have to upgrade it. You just have to upgrade the moves it has. For cunt's sake, it's like Coke and Pepsi. It tastes the fucking same. That is a lie. Coke tastes more like vanilla. Alright, so... talk to this lady. She's a chocobo. I love the way it changes in the story the most. Yeah. Xenoblade 1's so fucking good. I really want to finish it, but I got bogged down with 16, and I still need to put time at 14. Like, oh, man. And I was just as iconic as the Buster Sword or Master Sword. It really is. I mean, Xenoblade is just a fantastic franchise. I've always been more of a Tales of fan than Xenoblade fan. In my opinion, Vesperia is yet to be topped by any other action RPG. I know there are people who are like fucking ride or die with Tales of Vesperia. To them, it's like one of the greatest games of all time and fucking Neil type shit, you know? I don't know if anyone's told you, but Dynamis server is kind of crap for queuing since the low pop. So if you run into long queues, try traveling to another data center. Okay. Well, I'm not in Dynamis. I'm in Marilith. If need be, I can desync and run something alone. You know what I mean? I'm a DPS, so I should be able to like overpower a lot of shit if I'm higher level than it. And since we're in Realm Reborn, a lot of the quests are going to be like, oh, you have to run with an NPC party. So. And it sucks more than being bogged down by a bunch of fun games and not being able to decide on which one. Yeah. Yeah. I haven't touched Xenoblade 3 in fucking, like, 2 years since I bought it. Xenoblade 2 was so fucking good. I loved it. Ah. Ah, we got crack. Marilith is the world Dynamis server Marilith is based in. Oh, okay, okay. And give me 1 second. I gotta use the bathroom real quick. So. Alright. Yeah, like I said, I just had to step out real quick and take a piss. So, let me see what time we're at. Almost 3 hours now. So yeah, we can stretch it another 40 minutes or so. I think that would work. Yeah, 40 minutes. Alright. So we'll do another 40 minutes worth of video game. Very, very good video game. Oh, P-Jug week. No, like, where I'm at, because my office is down in the basement. It has a bathroom built into it, so I can just step over there and take a piss. It's, like, very convenient. And it's a full bathroom, so there's even a shower in case everyone, like, sleep down here for some reason. Meth note for $1. Reminder that Vietnam wouldn't have become the commie shithole it was if the OSS didn't fund Ho Chi Minh. Let's not forget that the NVA were more than willing to use human shields and fire on surrounding soldiers, but no, only America bad. Yeah, well, like that famous picture of the general putting a gun to the North Vietnamese guy's head. Everyone calls that a war crime. They don't talk about the fact that he literally just got done killing a South Vietnamese guy's family. Like literally just stopped. Like got caught running away from killing a guy's family, and they tied him up and were going to shoot him in the head as punishment. And after that, it's like, oh no, a war crime, it's terrible, it's evil. It's like, yep, gotta love no context. Of course, you know, you also had, you know, shit like Jane Fonda going to visit the NVA and doing a literal propaganda film for them, so nobody wants to admit the extent of communist subversion in media, especially in the 60s. What do you think of your state flag? I don't remember. I don't remember anything about the state flag. Must be on crack for 2 hours. What is your opinion on Null and his podcast about the internet? I will always respect Null for a lot of the shit he had to do just to keep Kiwi Farms running, and by golly, he tried his best to targ wrangle Chris Chan. It's just that boy would not be targ wrangled. War crime, war crime, war crime. Sean Connery was doing films for the VDC. No, Jane Fonda. You hear Francis Ford Coppola is making a science fiction epic called Megalopolis starring Adam Driver. Hope it's good. Yeah, it's supposed to be a remake of like an old 20s film. At least that's what I heard. Knows my respect for the attempted to targ wrangle Christian. Yep. I left thinking the stream was over. Yeah, it's not. I just had to step out for a sec. She went that far for a train. Yeah, Jane Fonda was a whore. She was one of those that's like, oh, well, I don't want men telling me how to use my body, and then she would star in, like, unironic pornos. The epitome of, I want to piss off my dad by any means necessary. Yeah. That's how you do, like, crafting stuff. People want to take the hillsides, listen to Negative XP song on loop for a bit? Yeah. Okay. So, defeat Baron von... Quevrin the Third Esquire. The hell is he? That's a dungeon, isn't it? Yeah, I think it's a dungeon. Oh, Ben of Outlaws taking reference in the Quevrin Manse. So, should be. Don't forget John Songbird McCain selling his country to the Viet Cong in exchange for prostitutes. So it's POW. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. But first, before we do anything, let's go to. Yeah, we gotta get a high potion. We don't have one yet. Let's go back to Thanalan and do the next pugilist quest. Oh, that's where it is? Oh, okay. So, it's there in the corner. In that case, because I thought it was a dungeon. Yeah, we can just take care of that real quick. We'll do the next pugilist quest. Oh, we can't do that yet. We're not level 20. Alright. Any plans on playing 6 Days of Fallujah on stream? I definitely want to. I just gotta figure out more of the game, because I tried playing a public match, and I ended up humiliating myself. Like, everybody died within 2 minutes, and one guy just went, this fucking guy, when he was talking about me getting shot, and it's like, oh. Eco for $1. You hear about Macron suddenly getting friendly with the BRICS nations? Yeah, isn't it like Brazil, Russia, India, China? Yeah, they're trying to set themselves up as, like, the new Soviet Union. It's like, yeah. Must be on crack for $2. Saw his ED page and got worried and saw it was 10 years. Well, the thing about ED is, like, they would openly admit they would lie about details because they thought it was funny and they liked kind of have... They liked the chaos of people thinking that. Like, yeah, ED was one of those where it was, like, proto-Kiwi Farms. And because of that, it got away with a lot of shit. And some people think ED's funny. Personally, I never really thought any of the pages were funny because it was too try-hard. But, yeah, take a lot of it with a grain of salt. Already take a lot of shit about reading about people online with a grain of salt, but, especially that. Where are you at in FF6? Just infiltrated the castle with Sid, and I'm underground with him, and we discovered the zombie magic people. So still not where we're at on stream, but I also was busy and I couldn't play a lot of it. How the hell would India agree to anything with China? They hate each other. Money. At the end of the day, money is capable of doing amazing things. Oh, did you have a Grimace milkshake and how people are dying from it? I don't know what a Grimace milkshake is, and I don't know why people are dying. Encyclopedia Dramatica just wound up finding out with Chris that sometimes the truth is even worse than what they make up for Kex. Yeah. And that's kind of the big reason why it didn't do as well as like what Kiwi Farms did. Because it's like, yeah, sometimes you just let crazy people be crazy. You don't have to exaggerate anything because they're fucking crazy. Alien Dark Descent is so good. Might be my game of the year, to be honest. I want to wait for like an expansion or something like that first to see if there's like a gameplay overhaul. Because it looks good, but I want to wait. Is there going to be like a War of the Chosen or Enemy Within style expansion for this game? Because it could be really cool. Don't hype me to get that purple stuff. Alright, McDonald's I went to today had 3 meth head women sitting outside. McDonald's doing a meal for Grimace's birthday. Comes with a purple milkshake that people are being killed by. How are they dying? Oh. Oh, it fell. Grimace's birthday shake is a berry-flavored purple milkshake McDonald's selling for Grimace's birthday. It's alright. Okay. Just watched your Hogwarts Legacy video and it summed up that autism perfectly. There was still a lot of shit I didn't even get to. It is insane, the level of insanity. They got grimaced. Is Berserk Band of the Hawk game worth it on sale right now? If you can get all the DLCs, I'd say it's pretty much worth it, but you have to be into Dynasty Warrior games. I mean, like, there's no two ways about it. If you do not like Dynasty Warrior games, you will not like it. You have a classic physical game that's very underrated. You're talking about, like, from, like, Xbox, PS2 era? Yeah, there was a whole bunch of that. I had fucking Jurassic Park Operation Genesis for the original Xbox. Which I would later find out is like one of the most valuable versions of that game there is. You can literally sell it for like hundreds of dollars. But my dumbass as a little kid would never take care of my games, and I would always leave them out of their cases and you know, let them get dirty and scratched up. So I'm kicking myself now, but yeah, I used to have that. You and 21 Kiloton have the best summaries of shit show the Hogwarts Legacy stuff there was. I haven't seen 21 Kiloton. I'll have to look that up. If he did a good job, I'll watch it, because, yeah, it's... Spaz for $1. Okay, I was playing Disco Elysium, and I put the body in the polar bear fridge, and now I have absolutely no idea where to go. Do the autopsy. It'll let you do the autopsy again, and it'll significantly boost up checks that'll let you discover more stuff. Even if you've already done the autopsy, so long as you haven't completely finished it and submitted your report, you should be allowed to do what I'm talking about. Yeah. I had Radiant Dawn, and that's rare as hell to find out. Holy shit, dude. Yeah, you had a fucking gold mine. Like, you can literally sell copies of Radiant Dawn for like almost $1,000. You ever lick the bottom of a disc and wipe it off with your shirt? I always thought that fixed a game when I was a kid. There was a whole bunch of fucking shit I would try to do as a kid to fix games. Because, like, I remember back when I had, like, the OG 360. And I'm talking, like, one of the launch 360s. We had Mass Effect 1. We bought, like, release copies of Mass Effect 1. And that game was hilariously broken. It would never get past the BioWare screen. I'm convinced it was a bad disc. It's been so long, I genuinely don't even remember what the problem was with it. It might have just been scratched or something like that. But fucking... I would do everything I could to try to fix that game, because I loved it. You know, I liked playing the little bits that I could when I could force my way past the fucking BioWare screen. I put toothpaste on it, I would spit on it, I would rub my shirt on it, like, went so far as, like, putting it in the microwave, like, literally anything that I would read about online to fix the disc. And, of course, nothing would ever work. So, I got a copy of Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. I have absolutely no idea how I ever got, because I've never owned a GameCube. So you're telling me that I'm majorly fucked up and having a lot of observation? Yeah, you gotta love it. We'll just get money. I don't think any of those are good. Microwave Man made it worse. That's the thing, it didn't even affect it at all. It would still only get to the BioWare screen and then crash, which it did every time. I'm convinced it was just a bad disc. Child showed a lolly. If you want the game to work, put the disc up your ass. I think that's part of the reason why I ended up latching on to like digital stuff, where I know I should be buying more physical, but I almost always go with digital. I think just because I have like PTSD from when I was a kid of buying a game and then trying to get it to work on the console and it just wouldn't fucking work because the disc was fucked. Did you ever play Spartan Total Warriors? Really enjoyable 2000 game about a Spartan demigod fighting the whole Roman Empire at its peak. I think I did, yeah. I think I would actually rent that from Hollywood Video sometimes. We have to fight more toads. Okay, so you can charge up your chakra and use it as like a range, it seemed like. Okay. All those disc fixed urban legends were gay ops gaslight you can buy in digital. That might have been. It actually might have been. Okay. So not too powerful, but something. Twin Snake seems like it's the one you want to do. Okay, okay. I'm kind of starting to understand how Pugilist works. It's like you can do... You set yourself to one form, then you can do setups to do other stuff. Okay. I got scared I was liking Matt at the internet and hearing it was a pedo-sexist and was thinking that can't be right. Nah. You gotta remember there's a lot of people that hate Null, so they will do anything they can to make you think he is the worst person on the planet. Intro 2 had an entity in it called the Freezer that will permanently destroy your copy of the game. I'm not joking. Holy shit, I have to look into that. Pugilist to me looks like just some MMORPG Rock Lee from Naruto. They love having their melee fighters. You know, like your actual hand-to-hand fighters. Everyone likes the punch class people. Will you be trying the Dark Knight class in FF14? If you heard, it's kind of loosely inspired by Berserk. My main, the one I actually played this game with, like the one I actually like put hours into, she is in fact a Dark Knight. Level 74. I have played a lot of Dark Knight. Yeah, but only happened when I bounce. Okay, okay. So it was one of those, like, you know, scare the shit out of players for looking where the developers didn't want them to. Ew. What is the game that you got the limited edition of and you love it? I got the limited edition of Witcher 3 and it was really good. That's been so fucking long. I don't even know what that is anymore. I farted on my copy of Banjo-Kazooie as a kid and it ran like clockwork. Oh god. This thing's like the setup to a disgusting, disgusting porno. Okay, and obviously I'll change up how all this works once we get enough time into it. Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1 is live on Steam right now. That's pretty fucking cool. Go over to Lost Hope, turn in some of this shit. Then we can go over to Thanalan again and do another Pugilist quest. And I think that'll be a good place to call it. Good place to call it for the night. I dropped my copy of Black Ops 2 on the floor and it snapped in half. It broke my soul. Oh god, that hurts. I have so many memories going to the video store, Blockbuster, with my dad. Yeah, my family, we would always go to the video store. It was great. Can you do the finger in your mouth whistle? No, I can't whistle at all. Like, at all. Isn't Advance Wars on sale right now? The last delay was bullshit. Yeah, the remake is. Some people seem to really like it. Like, I kept hearing it wasn't that good and it had problems, but people are like, no, it's actually really good. So maybe it's just one of those of, like, people wanted to hate it before it even came out, and so they're saying it has problems. So now... Go over here, turn in that thing. Remake as friggin' Ego Raptor voicing Max. Yeah. What are your opinion on the Kick-Ass comics? They're my favorite series. I'm not a fan of the comics because to me they dip a little too hard into like, hey, let's shit all over the main guy just to shit on him. It's like, that's just not really for me. I know some people really like them though. I mean, they still go on and they have like reboots and stuff, so. I think it's just, you know, not really for me. Okay, we'll start the next one, but we will go straight to the pugilist one. Alright. So now... Oop. Why can't we get an Arkham Origins remaster? Yeah. That's on the latest Nintendo Direct. I have not seen it. Is there any anime or manga you're into right now that isn't Berserk? I've been rereading Gintama, and that's been shitloads of fun. That has just been shitloads of fun. You ever cat color? That's hard. That's like cats. I don't really care too much what their color is. But the ones that are like black and white, and, you know, like kind of like Oreo ones, I like those. Kaiju Monster Rancher? I've never heard of that. Okay. So yeah, we get the goodie stuff. Alright. Use boot shine indentations to obtain horn singers. And that is all the way over there. Holy shit. Okay. What is the last treasure possession Iggy has eaten? I've been good about keeping stuff off the floor to where she can't eat it if I, you know, give a shit about it. But yeah, she's pretty naughty. Her and Winston like to knock over the trash and get into the trash, so we're trying to get them out of that habit. By Rocksteady considers all the Arkham games except Origins as a trilogy, not a quadrilogy. Yeah. Bought a copy of Smash Bros on the Wii for 50 bucks when I was 11, only to find that it was scratched and didn't work at all, and for some stupid reason never returned to GameStop. Yeah. You know, it's one thing to where like you bought it off like a flea market or something like that, where you kind of had to expect it probably wouldn't work. But GameStop, it's like, listen, have some fucking, you know, have some fucking form of product. I don't know the right word for it, like product management. Because something similar happened to me. I bought Xenoblade Chronicles X for the Wii U. And when I first tried to play it, the disc I got was broken. And I was super pissed, and I had to go to GameStop and get a completely different one. And I think not long afterwards, I got like Breath of the Wild when that came out on Wii U. Because I didn't get a Switch until like way later. I only got a Switch like kind of recently. And when I tried to play it, that disc was also broken. A couple of my favorite bits from Gintama are the sandpaper incident at the Yaku compound, the Dirty Tower Babel thing after, and the Neil Armstrong Cyclone Jet Armstrong cannon. Those are funny. Those are funny as hell. I like the amnesia arc where Gintoki gets amnesia and he finds out that like he was this like piece of shit that was mean to his friends. It's like, man, why would I want to come back? I sound like an asshole. And they're like, no, but seriously, you have to come back. Have you read / watched Yoji Senka Saga Tani the Evil? A lot of people really want me to. I never got super into it, but a lot of people want me to do like a full-on video on it, and I will eventually, yeah. Disc replay is the worst. I like the prices, but those motherfuckers will always put the wrong disc in the case. I'm talking, I bought an R-rated demon movie, and the disc inside was a pink Peppa Pig. At that point, somebody was fucking around. The smoking ban was hilarious, yeah. Yeah, poor fucking, what was his name? The fucking cop dude. I think it was Sagawa. It's like, he wanted to smoke, but he had to, like, go to completely different planets. I'd see Star Ocean 2 remake. It looks way too good for a Switch game. I did see, yeah. That could be interesting. Star Ocean's one of those of, like, it has a fan base, but it's a pretty underground series. Hijikata, yeah, that was it. It was Hijikata, yeah. I fucking love Hijikata because I like Hijikawa and I love Katsura because they're supposed to be the guys that are like the straight man to Gentoki. Like whenever they show up, they're supposed to like bounce off them. But when you leave them by themselves, they are just as insane as him. Like Katsura has like some of the funniest fucking moments in the entire franchise. It is so funny. Like I love when one of my favorite bits was Shinpachi trying to get advice on how to ask a girl out, and he ends up stumbling into a fucking flame war where the head of the police dude and Katsura are telling each other to kill themselves. Like I laugh my fucking ass off at that. I agree that shit on a lot, which is the point of the first series, and as you continue, it gets cooler while also being cringe by all the reboots that aren't hit girl suck. Something I learned recently about Xenoblade and GameStop, apparently because the exclusivity is supposedly sold new copies as used for markup. Holy shit. Okay. Oh god. The only version of Hijikata that I like more than the Gintama version are the Fate version and the Old Man version who survived Hakodate and Gold Kamui. Oh fuck. Freezer wasn't intentional, it was all spaghetti code, but Silhouette always appeared for the game froze for the last time. That's so spooky. They were playing the classic SMT games, 1, 2, IF, etc. Not really. I never really got super into classic SMT. That's a whole other genre itself. That shit that, like, you know, I don't know. That's a whole other generation. I feel really bad for the Star Wars developers. Yeah, they work their ass off. They're so loyal to their series, and they're never in the news for good things, because everyone's always like, man, fuck JRPGs. It's like, man, but they're fucking trying. And it doesn't help that the last game wasn't particularly amazing. Pretty much took all the plastic off them and sold them as used. Oof. I don't know, that still seemed kind of dirty to me. Because, like, with used, aren't all the fucking proceeds going to GameStop then? Like, new, the developers get a portion, but used, it's specifically GameStop. Like, I don't know, something about that just seems wrong to me. Not just that, because they never had a wrapping, they were selling reprints as used. Oh my god. Think you'll stream Way of the Samurai 3 or 4 someday? That could be fun. There we go. The old version of Hijikata and Shinpachi, Nagakura, and Golden Kamui are absolute beasts despite their age. That's pretty interesting. I never really got super into Golden Kamui. That could be fun to check out. Try to play Star Ocean, but it always freezes up on me and I lose like hours gameplay. Yeah, I gotta love that. Favorite American comic series? I really like Punisher Max by Garth Ennis. That to me is just Kino. Oh god. Thoughts on SMT fans handing the Persona series and the whole play a real SMT game? They have every right to be angry, especially since Persona getting popular, and I put that in quotes because, you know, Persona fan excited to play Persona for the first time, you know, that shit. They have every right to be angry because Persona fans now brought SMT into the main light, so now all the psychos that don't want to play any of the games and just look up Let's Plays on YouTube are going to look at SMT and go, well, you should really censor this, and you should really do this, and you should really do that, and all they want to do is be left alone. Have a Metroid Prime trilogy on Wii too, but like the Steelbook wasn't a reprint, so at least people knew about it. Huh. Goli Kamui is nice, a little weird at times. Yeah. A lot of shonen shit can get like just out there weird. My favorite aside from Kick-Ass is Preacher. Preacher is really good. That is a fun as hell one. Alright, old man, I'll whoop your ass. Plus, there's some gypsy chick with a huge knockers. Okay. Alright, motherfucker. I told you. I like All-Star Superman. Did you ever read Simpsons comics that stayed funnier way longer than the show? I never really. It might be a thing where, like, because no one was looking at it, it was allowed to go nuts. I played SMT 3 and 5 to know they're boring. Come on, old man. I'll fuck your ass up. Come on. Leg sweep. Ugh. The anime for Golden Kamuy cuts and condenses a lot of stuff from the manga, but in a way that still works. If you didn't know that stuff was missing, also the OVA does a wild mini arc. Okay. I'll probably check it out. A couple of my coworkers are happy there was an update on the KOTOR remake. They got confused when I said I don't want Disney to nerf Revan, remove all the complexity from him. Yeah, it's like, I can already see they'll try to make Revan just like, I was Darth Vader, but then I felt bad. Now I'm not Darth Vader anymore. It's like, there was a lot more to Revan than that. Ugh. What I'm worried about is if they try to introduce the Exile, because the Exile is one of the most complicated characters in Star Wars. Well, you're making me want to get back into the game and finish Endwalker. There's already new patch quests coming out, and on top of that, there's gonna be a new expansion. Time to get in before you lose too much time. Even though the Preacher Show was nowhere near as good as the comic, I still like parts of it. Like the part where Jessie makes Starship cassette tape film up her ass. They would fuck up Exile and Kreia. They would. I love the classic music. Trust me, when Star Ocean 2 Remake releases, every gaming journal's gonna shit on it, even after they improve everything. Yeah, they just don't like JRPGs. Guys, SMT combat's so deep, it actually requires you to use buffs and debuffs. And buffs and debuffs help. Can't wait for KOTOR Remake just delete cards because something toxic. Yeah. Even though, like, if you play fucking KOTOR as a woman, he's just such a fucking simp. He is such a fucking simp for female Revan. It's like, I don't, like, you know, dude, you're fucking creepy. I'm gonna play male Revan and, like, and get the, you know, fucking hot British chick Bastila. Remember I hated Karth when I played KOTOR, but I appreciate him now. Pixie gets the buffs. There you go. Like, I was playing Nocturne because the fucking re-release happened, and I accidentally upgraded my Pixie to High Pixie, and I genuinely felt the... I genuinely felt the urge to just completely delete that playthrough and restart, where it's like, I fucked up. I fucked up. I can't let this happen. I've seen plenty of examples of stupidity, but my favorite is people complaining about Starship Troopers RTS and how they wish you could shoot through allies. Did you not see the movie? Manic? Yeah. If you're talking about the new one that just came out, the, what was it, Extinction? The one where, like, you're playing with people and it's the full version of the squad? Yeah, you can shoot people. You can team kill. Or are you saying that, like, people are upset that you can't shoot through allies and you team kill people by mistake? Because if that's the case, as stated, yeah, it's like, team kill is a risk. Watch where you're shooting. You can romance the cat girl as a female Revan. Nobody's gonna do that, though. She's gross. Okay, golden jacket. Okay. And I think that's good to call it. You know, we did enough. You know, a good 10 levels in a day, in a night. That's pretty good. I don't mean that RTS. You had to manage firing lines, so people were bitching about that. Well, it's like, as stated, watch where you're shooting. Guarantee they'll pull some that happened dialogue with HK47, calling it now. It'll be word for word statement. Well, Master, that just happened. Oh god, I can hear it. I can hear it. It's just Pixie, but better. No. No. Sion simping for Femme Exile was also weird. Yeah. Yeah. Mid 2000s RPGs, they had that weird thing where if you wanted to play like the, I mean, to be fair, it also happened with the male characters. It was on the flip, but like there was always the character that would simp for yours, or like you would have the dedicated love interest, where it's like if you played as the dude, there was that chick who very clearly was supposed to be your love interest, and if you played as a chick, there was the guy that was very clearly supposed to be your love interest. The obvious one is like if you played Mass Effect 1, Ashley was clearly meant to be like, oh, you like her, don't you? You like Ashley. And then she was immediately replaced by Liara. And then if you played as female Shepard, you had Caden, and they would always be like, there's Caden, he's there, don't you like him? It's like, no, he's cardboard. Once again, immediately replaced by Liara. Gonna be a little extra, or straight up the stream is ending. It's pretty much ending now. It's pretty much ending. We're gonna swap back over. Yeah. Gonna swap back over, and I'm gonna log out of the game here. Okay. But as you can see, Final Fantasy 14, very, very fun. We're going to continue our little series here. I like Caden as a bro. The other night, I'm going for some immunity compromised pussy. Yeah. Playing Gravity Rush 2, and it's way better than 1. Gonna be sad when I finish it. Damn, Sony making their movie games. Yeah. Just actively sabotage the Japan side of their fucking company. Like, actually sabotaged it. Have you played the Tasmanian trilogy? Yeah, Ty the Tasmanian? Yeah. Handmaiden or Visas, which is better? I think I went with Handmaiden, yeah. Liara's always best girl, Tally's best girl. Tally, am I your dirty little secret? I like Liara in Game 1, but I feel like she advanced too quickly to how she is in Game 2. Game 2 in general kind of felt like it didn't take advantage of the whole you've been gone for 2 years thing, right? They would talk about it and be like, Shepard, you've been gone for so long. It's like, yeah, but can you, like, try to introduce us to a bit more of this, you know? Streams on Twitch are going to be a thing. Yeah, I plan on them being a thing. I think I'm going to do every other. So, like, one stream here, it'll be YouTube. Another stream, it'll be Twitch. And, like, I'll save the VOD and bring it over to YouTube. Yeah, I'll figure it out. But, yeah. So, very, very good. Very good. The Gorboss Visas by making her steal Nihilus kill. Oh, God. Like I said, I can already see that happening. I can already see that being a thing, and I hate it. Which Final Fantasy game should you play first? There's not really an order. So long as, like, if you want to pick up 10, then don't play 10-2, because that's the sequel to 10. If you want to play 13, don't play 13-2 or Lightning Returns. Those are the sequels to 13. Other than that, play whichever one you want. They're all basically standalones. They'll have elements that they'll reference to each other, but it's never anything that's like you need to know what happened. Shepard not being affected by dying was a lost opportunity. Kind of was. Don't forget to save VODs next time. YouTube, it's already set to save, so it'll be fine. Did you hear Skullgirls being censored to going so far as to alter concept art in the art book, which definitely crossed a few lines? Oh yeah, it's dirty. It's shitty. But, okay. It is almost 3 a.m. here. I want to finish this little baggie of Doritos and then go to bed. So, thank you everybody who showed up. It was really fun. I do want to make this a regular thing because I really like Final Fantasy 14. And we're working through a Realm Reborn, which is all the, like... It is the stuff that I personally think is okay, but it has such a slow start to it. And there are so many level locks. It's like, by the time you get to Heavensward, you have enough of a level system to where you don't have to worry about being locked off content for hours. But Cool Ranch, no, nacho cheese, the classic, because that's what I had in the pantry. But it's like, yeah, so. Started a Silent Hill 3 thread on V a couple days ago on Heather being my favorite character, and boy, oh boy, did everyone had a Pygmalion moment on her. But yeah, I feel ya. A Realm Reborn's a long start, but sets up so much in 14. It really does. And not all of A Realm Reborn's bad. When it actually gets to the Empire, it's pretty cool. It's just getting to the Empire. But, yeah. So, thank you everybody who showed up. I'm going to call it. Good night.